I got time, cuz. Today I got time, cuz. You lucky on that day I was acting cool, cuz.
What?
What's up? How gangster are you, cuz?
Hey.
I don't fuck with you cuz you disrespecting me.
What?
I don't fuck with you cuz you disrespecting me.
I go hard, cuz. Hey, everyone. I hope you guys are doing good today. Can't believe it's already Monday. Like, this week is just flying by. Matter of fact, child, let me go ahead and put on my earbuds if I forget. I'm always forgetting to put on something. Yeah, today I got time, blood. I'm wearing red today, okay? I hope everybody is doing good. I hope you guys had an amazing weekend. Child, it's that season again, okay? Thanksgiving is upon us, and I am excited. You know, I love to eat. Girl. So I'm definitely excited for Thanksgiving. My oldest just left. That's why it was taking long for me to come on. Me and him were just chopping it up. He'll be coming for Thanksgiving and going to his dad's as well. So he was just trying to figure out, you know, what he could bring and everything. So I'm excited. It's my favorite time of year. I've been real busy. I know I didn't get a chance to do a live stream last week. You guys know I have been working on this deep dive off and on for the past 2 weeks. It was a 5-hour deep dive, and that is just part 1, okay? I wrote out part 2, but I have not filmed it yet just because I need a break, child. That was a lot. Whew, I had to woosah. It was a lot of work, a lot of stuff to put together, but thank you so much to everybody who's given me such positive feedback on the deep dive. I was very scared to make it because it's not a topic that, you know, I really ever wanted to hit on because it's so sensitive, you know, when it comes to like religion and what people believe and stuff like that. And I don't want to disrespect anybody's spiritual practices, nor do I want to offend anybody's religion. You know what I'm saying? But I was tired of people constantly coming at me like, you didn't demonize Beyonce for looking like an Orisha, or you never said anything about such and such celebrity. And it's like, bruh, it's African spirituality. Relax. You know what I'm saying? There's good and bad in everything. Just like with Christianity. You know, you have good Christians who are there to uplift and treat other people like human beings and, you know, not judge. And then you have other Christians, you know, Christian fundamentalists, where, you know, they don't have those same Christian values towards people who don't look like them. Same thing with Islam. You have people who practice it and it's a religion of peace. Then you have people who corrupt it and use it to suppress and demean women and children and things like that. So there's good and bad in everything, but I just thank everybody who was open enough, you know, to watch the video, and thank you all for the feedback. We also, like I promised, was going to open the Discord as well. So shout out to all the new Discord members. I mean, we opened it up twice in 1 month. I usually don't do that, but I was like, I'm going to do it one last time once I dropped the deep dive. So we did. So shout out to everybody who made it in there, child. It was several hundred of y'all who are now in there. So if you're in there, try your hardest to stay in there because it ain't opening back up. Like I said, I'm done for the year, and I'm focusing on other stuff. I got a few more things I have to do, places I have to go before the end of the year. I do want to make a trip out to Charleston when I get a chance. So if y'all know any like black you know, just like cool shindigs, clubs, R&B spots, lounges around Charleston. I'm not trying to go all the way out to Sumter because that's like an hour away. But like, you know, like North Charleston area, cool vibe. Not no hood booger shit, okay? Just, you know, cool, relax. Let me know. Send me an email because I do want to make it down there before the year is out. That is one of my plans. I can't wait. I love South Carolina. So I want to make it out there. So definitely to all my South Kakalaki people, let me know. But yeah, man, it's all, it's a lot to get into, child. I'm like, damn, what have I missed this whole time? You know what I'm saying? While I was busy with the deep dive, it was like, dang, it was a lot of news stories. And then it was all this crazy stuff going on with Summer Walker and Tori Brixx. I'm like, what, bitch, what year is this? I haven't heard that name Tori Brixx in a long time. You know what I'm saying? Remember when she used to be gay? Who remember when Tori Brixx was gay and running with Young M.A.? Remember, she was dating Young M.A. I think I look at her as just a social climber, in my personal opinion. But I remember she was gay for a while. Then all of a sudden, you know, I'm not gay no more. I am delivered. Then she was, you know, the side chick to Rich the Kid. Remember, Rich the Kid was married. And I guess now she's the main. So, okay, girl. And now her and Summer Walker fighting over Dusty Dick Rich the Kid. So we're going to go ahead and get into that. Yeah, clock it. Y'all forgot. Remember she was running around here. She was a tough lesbian at one point. Okay, girl. That's why I be feeling like a lot of people just be playing with folks. They don't really be gay for real. Y'all be trying to play with people just to try and find a way in or try and get some fame. And then, y'all just swing back the way y'all swing back. Because there's another situation about this trans girl that got killed. It's all over TikTok. I want to do a video on it. A lot of y'all been asking me to talk about it. And I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to keep it real too. But I just be seeing people be playing these little games. They want to be gay for pay and be gay when it's convenient. And then when the relationship ends, now y'all want to, act like your sexuality wasn't a part of it and you never had nothing to do with that lifestyle. Just a bunch of weirdo shit. I be seeing it all the time on TikTok. But somebody said he ain't had a hit since Corona. You ain't never lied. That's why I'm like, what year is this? I haven't heard any of these people's names in at least a good 4 years. I'm like, why the hell are they all up and down my timeline? I need recent news. But, since Summer Walker wanted to go there, we gonna go there. I'm very shocked by her behavior. Very, very shocked and disappointed. But, yeah, let's talk about it, child. Y'all know I don't forget nothing. Yeah, that broad was gay for pay. But y'all not ready for that conversation. So, matter of fact, here goes the old article. For y'all who may have forgot who Tori Brixx was. This is how we got introduced to her. She's been around for a while. She's been around for a while. But, yeah. Remember when she was dating Young M.A.? Let me pull this up here. Who remembers that? Young M.A. opens up about Tori Brixx's relationship, reveals how they started dating. So I was back in 2017 when she was a hardcore lesbian. So, but once Young M.A. fell off, nobody's checking for her no more. All of a sudden, Young M.A. fell off, Tori fell off. She became straight again. All right, so let's go ahead and kind of break down this drama, okay? Let's see here. So we were minding our business on social media when Tori Brixx decided to come out and say that Summer Walker had been harassing her for the past 2 years. And they went on this huge back and forth on social media. So I'm gonna, and I hate I had to read any of this dusty shit, but it is what it is. We're gonna read it and move forward. All right. So she claims Summer has been harassing her for 2 years. She says here, this woman has literally been harassing me for like 2 years, asking to hang and link up, etc. She even went as far as to insinuate that she was around my child when she wasn't. Summer was around Rich one day and he accidentally left my son's backpack. As a mother who doesn't post the face of her children and gets upset at your BD for posting them to protect them, why would you play with mine? So that was Summer. I guess that's the son's backpack. And she said, I'm going to send it to Tori. Child. They were just going back and forth for a while. Hold on. And then, I think this was the one. Okay. Summer steps into the shade room to respond to Tori Brixx. So here she says this. I might have to scoot it up a bit. There we go. Laugh my ass off, bitch. This was from like 2023. This was the very time that you caught him with me. I ain't know nothing about you. He swore he was single. We is finna go into 2026. 2026. And he's still doing the same shit with me and everyone else. And you choose to post it now instead of just leave because you're tired? This ain't P, but whatever. Thanks for helping promote my album, LOL. This put the finishing touches on Finally Over. And I'm going to keep reading it like that because both of them are birds. So they're both going to get the funny voice reading, okay? And then Summer replies back again and says, girl, take that shit up with him. Stop posting my business, you weird as hell. You're doing all this for him to still fuck a new bitch raw tomorrow. You still gonna suck it with no problem on the daily basis. Like, what's even the point of all this? Then she says, this is the man who left you on your son's birthday to bring me a jury cake, a yacht on my birthday. I left him on the island by himself, made him drop off gifts to my friends, and I've never seen him. I'm not pressed about this man. He's been chasing me around for years. He's literally a bad dad. Doesn't care about you. I can't name one more embarrassing relationship. But you want to get mad at me? Start shit on the internet? Because your man's true calling is to trick? LOL. Oh, everybody. Take it up with him. 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 Okay. This is the video that Tori posted. You was blowing me up to link the whole time. You knew what you was doing. Again, like I always tell y'all, there's no girl code. Because while they're sitting here on each other's lap and Tori's trying to play the bisexual role by, rubbing on her ass, Summer Walker's fucking her baby daddy. Just trifling. So Tori replies back, and she says the following. Bitch, have this smoke for a Rich. You and Rich arguing. What I got to do with it? Girl, you been reaching out to me for years and blowing up my phone, literally. Trying to be my friend like a fan. Tori, girl, objection. What the fuck do you do? Like a fan, what do you do? We know you for fucking with Young M.A. and being Rich the Kid's side chick. Maybe I'm mistaken. Did she rap? Did she sing? Okay. Continue. I'm not the one that posted it. I come direct, and you know that. So then this is like some DMs. Summer Walker, call me when you're lonely or weak. I just want to have fun. Good night. Night, boo. How you holding up? I reached out to you about linking up to give you some good words of encouragement on how to move on from a nigga that don't respect you. And since then, you've completely moved on from the situation. Despite niggas continuing to harass me and my friends, please don't be telling people about this unfortunate encounter and showing people our messages. If I knew he had a fiance, I would have never fucked him. So basically, she's showing the DMs that Summer Walker sent to her about fucking Rich the Kid. So then she says, bitch begging a nigga, then get mad at me. Okay, girl. So then Summer Walker replies back and says, I guess we just gonna leave that part out. I know I should have got a restraining order on your ass a long time ago. Then she says, you literally caught the flower shop that day, harassing, trying to get my address. That's why I made a joke about him, about your son's book bag. You've been obsessed with me for years. Wrap that victim shit up, Miss Girl. Oh, child. This is just ratchet. And I think this was some more. All right. So now, Summer Walker denies sending messages to Tori Brixx. I'm supposed to be the one to take the blame and feel bad? So then Tori says, okay, that's to the response to the backpack. So let's see here. Summer says, I have never sent that to you because I don't talk to you, girl. You got this shit out his phone. You're obsessed with me, trying to out me over a trick. I have multiple tricks. It's not that serious. Like, get a grip. Now go post all 20 of the other women he talked to instead of trying to clout chase off of me because your career is in hell. Let's wrap this up. The fuck? Then she posts a picture with these roses. She says, I ain't gave that man none in so long. I ain't been in the mood. That voice memo drunk. And if y'all think I care or feel bad, I don't. He messed with hella people, but I'm supposed to be the one to take the blame and feel bad? Get a grip. LOL. Call me Miss Pizza. Pizza Hut from now on. I don't give a F. So she's replying back because in between this, Rich the Kid ends up leaking a voice memo of Summer Walker basically begging for some dusty dick. So she's saying that she doesn't care. So let's go ahead. I think the voice memos. Yeah, so let's listen to the voice memos here. I think DJ Academics had leaked it at one point.
Because I'm tipsy, and they say when you're tipsy, your true self and your true feelings come out. Because I don't know, I don't want to wait till tomorrow and I don't say it. I miss you, and I want to see you, and I want to hang out, and I'm honestly really glad. I know it probably sounds fucked up, but I'm really glad that everything worked out how it worked out, because I want you to be with your family. Like when we were,
Okay. I hate background noise. That I don't know if that's a paper bag, if it's rain. The background noise is annoying me, but let's continue.
when we were in Italy and I kept saying that to you, I was like, why aren't you with your baby?
Okay, Summer Walker, I'm gonna need you to get a better phone. I don't know if you're calling this man from a Haitian Bluetooth. You know, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna need you to get your phone situation situated, ma'am. Okay?
Mom, like, I'm not gonna bother y'all, I promise. Because y'all was never gonna stop fucking with each other anyway. That's why I just like kinda just fucked our shit up, because she was acting crazy. She's always acting crazy. She be fighting people and everything, calling the flower shop looking for the address. Like, I don't have time for that shit. I can't have a serious relationship with someone when they baby mama act like that. So I'm so glad that y'all are back together. I want y'all to be together forever, and I just want to fuck with you. You know, when you have time, we always have a good time. You treat me so good, I treat you so good, and I'm not gonna bother y'all. Like, you can buy me a fucking, when we were in Italy and I kept saying new phone, since you don't know the number, and save it under Pizza Hut for all I care. I'm not gonna post shit, nothing. So that's all I wanted to say. And I know that you're not gonna be weird or like out us or anything like that.
This is bird behavior. So basically, she reaches out to Rich and says that Rich should buy her a burner phone and save her number in his phone as Pizza Hut. So that way they can sneak around behind Tori's back. Trifling. Let's continue. So once that leaks, she decides to go online and start going off.
I just want to be the side. That's what I was saying. Like, I just want to be the side, and I just want you to chill. I don't like him enough to lay up next to him every day. I don't even know how you do it. I'm not going to start talking about him. You know, I'm not going to start talking about him, but you know the things about him. Girl, I don't know how you do it. I was just trying to play my little position. He clearly won't stop, and you know he's obsessive. You can like say that you're going to leave him alone, and he will just call you back to back to back. Get to call your friends, get to call your manager, get to call your assistant, get to sending stuff, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's like free money. So why would you just, every now and then you just give in? You be like, you know what, fuck it. Let that nigga do it. Let that nigga take me somewhere. And you know what, I'm actually really glad you did this. Because I was this close. I said, damn, I really want to push, and I really want a condo in Miami. But I really kept thinking about it. I was like, I don't know, because you act nuts. And this is what I needed to see. I was never going to get peace in my condo. You were going to tear. I just want to be the side. Terrorize the living shit out of me. This being on the internet, because when I did this, how long has it been since I did this? It's been so long since I did this. Why would I even be doing this? Why would I even be doing it? Shit, at this point, let me get something out of it. Y'all stream finally over it, y'all. It's like #1 on the charts. It's doing great. Like, keep it up. But like, why would I be doing this? Both of y'all are older than me, by the way. You're an old bitch, and that's an old ass nigga. I'm still in my 20s. Why would we be on the internet as adults? We all have kids. Like, why are we even doing this? I just didn't even get the point of that. But anyway.
Okay, I'm confused. How old is Summer Walker? Is she 21? Because she looks like she's in her 30s herself. We're not going to do that with the old, because you look like we could be the same age, ma'am. Okay? Simmer down. Unless she's 21, I don't want to hear that I'm in my 20s.
I'm going to say whatever I got to say to that nigga, babe. You think I really love him? You think I really want him? If I did, you would be cooked out on the street. Working a 9 to 5, babe. If I wanted that nigga is obsessed. Okay?
Not her being 29. Child, objection. The way she's talking, I'm thinking she's 22, 23, 29. Girl, you will be 30 next year. Why are you trying to talk shit about people in their 30s like you better hope that you make it to 30. Like, come on. Let's stop doing that. You damn near 30 acting like this lady is in her 50s or something.
The living.
So Rich the Kid ended up in that live stream and he laughed at her.
Why should somebody she could have?
So then Rich the Kid, who I haven't seen since 2020, he decides to go live. He's somewhere in India. Okay, sir. Let's see what you got to say.
Had me, but she was begging. Now that's crazy. Bitch, what? Oh, I just got to India, y'all. Let me get Why should somebody she could have? Banana, strawberry. Why should somebody she could have had me, but she was begging? Now that's crazy. Could have had me, but she was begging. Everybody heard the voice now. Now you still calling me right now, so what you saying? Yes, that's it, man. Thank you. I'm in India, by the way. India. Talking about she could have had me, but she was begging. That's all I gotta say. And then,
so he's in India, and Summer Walker is still calling him. Okay? Let's continue.
You can't, Tori. You cannot. I'm telling you, I'm not mad. I'm really not mad. It was childish. I know you're fried. And, like, you're just losing it because he just won't stop. Like, fuck all these hoes. But you cannot beat every single one of these hoes up. You cannot catch every single one of these hoes. He's never going to stop. You can't stalk every single one of these hoes. You're going to end up going to jail or getting hurt or, like, by somebody, not by me. I don't care that much. I'm having a girl talk with you. You really got to cut it out. And you have to start understanding, like, okay, he's the problem. He don't like you. He don't like you. He doesn't like you, babe. He doesn't like you. If he liked you, reality check, y'all would be married with no scandals and no infidelity. Okay? You can't, Tori. Seriously, you got to cut it out. Because I don't know what you're about to do. If you're like about to go out and on a tangent and lose your mind and try to start talking about everything me and that man ever talked about. It's childish. It's inappropriate. And it's really sad. It's sad. So from woman to woman, you got to cut it out. Okay? All right. These will be the last flowers I receive from him. Okay? Okay. Let me move these gigantic ass fucking flowers out the way. Yo, nigga just got me. That was probably the dumbest shit I ever seen anybody do. Not gonna cap. Because it was like no point. For what? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, for what? I'm not mad because I know that you're off in your mind. You're fried in your mind. So I can't expect anything less. But it's just like, for what? I don't have no shame. Let me start off there. I have no shame. I take nothing back, babe. I told everybody on Fuck My Type, I date for money now. Your man, he spends money. He spends money. Y'all are not married. I don't fuck with married men. Whenever I even thought there was, let me move.
Haven't I said this for the longest time? Let me come on real quick. I've said this for years. There's no shame. That's why society is the way it is. There's no shame. People are proud to be side chicks. People are proud to be cheaters. People are proud to be fucking with other people's wives, husbands. There's absolutely no shame. Whole culture is at an all-time high. And you can thank the rap and R&B girlies for that. They've normalized it. I said that forever. There's absolutely no shame. This is why a lot of this stuff goes on, not only in the hip-hop industry, but in general. You know what I'm saying? Bitches a bitch will fuck your man and act like you're the problem. Bitch, you're fucking my man. Why are you mad at me? It's insane. There's absolutely no shame. They will call your phone harassing you. Bitch, you got him. Have a good life. Why are you calling harassing me? Oh, because he really don't want to be with you. He's just using you for sex. This is really where he want to be, but I don't want him. Whew. Let's continue, child. Let's continue.
The ring, I made sure there was no ring. There was no ring. Tori Brixx. We have seen videos of you fighting women, bloody, beating them bloody. We have seen videos of Rich on Ring cameras, like he got someone pregnant. Time after time after time after time after time. I don't even have enough fingers for how many bitches that he cheats on you with on a daily basis. And you have no self-respect whatsoever. And instead of taking that shit up.
Objection. Summer, you sound stupid as fuck. You're telling a woman who's in a relationship with a man that she has no self-respect because she's willing to tolerate his bullshit. Meanwhile, you're proud to be the side chick. If he's fucking all of these people and impregnating them, these are your words, that means he's not using protection. So you're willing to put yourself at risk for some dusty dick and a few trinkets like flowers and yacht trips and jewelry. You sound just as delusional as Tori. How are you judging her when, you know what I'm saying, you're in the, y'all are basically sister wives. You're no better than Tori is. You're just as delusional and stupid. You're just not the main.
With your man, you come at everybody else, but the source of the problem. The ring, I made sure there was no ring. There was no ring. Tori Brixx.
Okay. Next. So I think we've heard.
Everybody can call me a bird.
For somebody who's so unbothered, she keeps talking. So let's continue watching here.
Everybody can call me a hoe. Everybody can call me Miss Pizza Hut. That's perfectly fine. I actually put my name as Miss Pizza Hut in the bio. It doesn't bother me. I don't care about that nigga. You do. So now that you've done it, I want you to go through his phone and post the rest of the bitches. Because everybody about to sit here and act like it's just me and, oh, she was fucking with her nigga. Post the rest of the 25 bitches he was fucking with. And I want you to do it how the Shade Room do it when Nick Cannon be up there with his baby mama. So I want you to draw the lines and the time, the time frames and all that shit. Make a fucking PowerPoint and put all the bitches up on the internet that he's fucking with. Because if not, you're just singling me out for clout, and that's weird. That's fucking weird. Because all that shit, oh, I ain't even fucked that man in so long. Even when he be trying to, I don't like him. Everybody can call me a bird.
So, yeah, Miss Pizza Hut. She has that in her bio. So now Tori speaks, and now she's playing music. I'm gonna move on to the next slide. Okay, we don't care. Next. So that's when she had posted the videos and stuff about Summer. So I think we're done with this saga. Yeah, that's about it. Let me come back on the screen. This is a messy ass situation, okay? You know, I'm disappointed in Summer. Like, you're coming off like a bird, sis. Like, you really are. Because Summer Walker, you know, she's always talking about spirituality and, you know, sexual energy and, you know, healing and chakras. You know, she's one of them types, right? So it's like the fact that you were willing to mess with this man, knowing that he has a fiance, but the fact that you also know that he messes with so many other people, is that not like soul ties being swapped times 20? You know, it's like you can't talk all this spiritual stuff and, you know, but you have no real understanding of it. You're using spirituality as a guise to cover hoism. Like let's keep that shit real. And I think the problem is with Summer. Summer is really upset. She's in a dark place right now because we've watched her deal with one failed relationship after failed relationship after failed relationship. Okay? We've seen her have 3 kids. Now, 2 of them are twins in the span of a few years by 2 different men. And both those men ended up, those relationships didn't work. Then she was with Little Meech. Little Meech was cheating on her. Remember, he was caught creeping into somebody's apartment. She was upset about that. So now it makes sense why that relationship with Little Meech didn't work, because the type of energy you were putting out there. At one point in time, you had no problem being the side chick to another woman's man. Regardless if he's a good man, if he ain't shit man, you were willing to be the side chick at one point in time. So I find that very hypocritical that you were mad at Little Meech for cheating on you when you had no problem being the side chick in the past. See, and that's what people don't understand. How you get people is how you lose them. And again, this is not a Summer bashing fest, because I see a lot of people just only bashing Summer and, you know, Summer ain't shit, she's a whore. But again, I don't feel bad for Tori Brixx either. Tori Brixx started this Let's not forget how Tori Brixx got into this relationship. On top of social climbing from Young M.A., remember, Rich the Kid at one point in time was a married man. He actually had a wife, okay? And he abused this wife. He would whoop her ass. She had several miscarriages. She ended up having his babies. But the wife talked for years on how Tori Brixx, was one of the many side chicks. Who remembers Antoinette Willis? So we're not just going to sit here and just go in on Summer Walker. If we're going to have a conversation about women not respecting other women and there not being a sisterhood, let's talk about it, because Tori's not a victim in this either. Tori's getting her comeuppance, in my personal opinion. So let me pull this up. This is Antoinette Willis. This was his first wife. Okay? Rich the Kid's estranged wife. He needs to pay more, but he's ghosting me, legally speaking. He abused her. She went through a lot with his ass. Okay? So let me see here if this is the one. Was this the one? Okay, this is the second baby mama. We'll come back to that in just a second. Rich the Kid's wife accuses side piece Tori Brixx of setting him up for an attack. This was in 2018. Okay? Now remember, at one point in 2017, she was dating Young M.A. I think she was juggling both Young M.A. and him around the same, because it's like, as soon as they broke up, all of a sudden she was with Rich. But Rich wasn't divorced yet. And this was around the time where there was like a home robbery that happened. And so she was online. Her face was bloody. Tori Brixx was. And so the ex-wife came online and said, I just want this to be known, when I see at Tori Brixx, I'm beating her ass because, bitch, you know you set him up. Y'all can feel how y'all want to feel. My kids could have been going to their dad's funeral just because this dumbass girl. So the wife been beefing with Tori Brixx for years. Okay? But let me find the other article here. Okay. So, Rich the kid's wife files for divorce. So she was filing for divorce. And in those divorce papers, she said this. She posted screenshots of Rich the kid, his alleged text conversations with Black China, India Love, and Miracle Watts, and also Tori Brixx. She showed FaceTime calls with Tori Brixx and Bria Miles. Married but fucking at Miracle Watts, talking to Tori Brixx and India Love, doesn't care that he's married. She's down as long as you keep it real from the start. Okay? She also alleged that Black China's relationship with YBN Almighty J was just a front for her relationship with Rich. Oh, and that Black China been getting fucked by Rich too. Almighty J was just a cover. Y'all bitches can suck a dick and die, she wrote. Okay? So this woman was going through it. She tried to hold her husband down, and all these industry whores were fucking him. Because at the time, Rich the Kid was that guy. He had a lot of good music out, and, you know, he was popping. So, for Tori to now be mad, yeah, India Love too, you know, Black China, again, there's no shame. None of these people care. It's just about getting a bag, being seen. So for her to be crying now is just, it's ironic. Because you loved it when you were the side chick. But now that you're the main, you don't like the fact that he's still doing the same old thing. Now let's not forget, a month ago, this was in October, so maybe, a month ago. His other baby mama, because he got a bunch of kids. You know, when you're fucking that many people raw, you're going to have a lot of pregnancies, okay? So this other baby mother, she came out and blasted Rich. Because he done left the kids at the hotel room to go chase some cat. Left the babies at the hotel room. So, remember, this is the second baby. This is the other baby mama. I don't know what order. But she said this. Why my kids and my bonus son just told me that their dad basically used them as a cover to come to Atlanta. Didn't actually spend time with them. He left the oldest son in the hotel room while he was fucking on another girl, not his fiance / fake wife. Or maybe that is Antoinette. I don't know. This picture looks different. It might be Antoinette. I might be wrong. I thought it might have been the second one. But basically, he's still messing around on her. Still cheating on her. So that's why Summer Walker is saying, don't just post my name looking for clout, bitch, because I just dropped the album. Post all these people. He's been cheating. He's still cheating. So I see a lot of people, acting like Tori Brixx is some innocent housewife, and, a lot of people crying tattoo tears for her. Not I. I won't shed a tear for any of these women. They're all one and the same. Summer Walker is trash for cheating with him, knowing that he's in a relationship. But guess what? So is Tori Brixx. Tori Brixx was a side chick, and I believe that she was playing young M.A. with Rich the Kid on the side. Because he had, he was a bigger star, and, when she got with him and they became official, all of a sudden she wasn't gay no more. And hates if you bring up young M.A. Acts like that part of her life never even happened. So, again, it's sad. It's really sad. But yeah, none of these people are innocent. And it's trifling. And this is how STDs and everything else spreads. Because everybody wants to sit here and share industry peen. It's a shame. Let me go ahead and read some of these super chats here. But I hope y'all enjoyed that breakdown. Because I know a lot of people trying to figure out what the hell was going on. It's messy. But like I said, I seen mainly people attacking Summer as she should be. She should be attacked and drugged because she's trifling too. But let's not act like Tori's some innocent victim in all this. She helped to destroy his first marriage and had no shame. She's definitely an opportunist. Scheme cooked up by Todd. And I got to do a video on Todd and Candy's divorce. We all saw that one coming. I don't think anybody should be shocked about that, but that's a whole nother video. Let me see here. Simply Nay, Sim 499 says, hey T, hope all is well. Glad to say I made it into the Discord. Can't wait to get to know the Discord family. Thanks for all you do. Leo, sis. You are so welcome. I'm glad that you made it into the Discord. So definitely get acquainted with everybody. We will be having a meeting. What's today? Yeah, probably tomorrow. We'll have a meeting. So you'll get to kind of meet everybody in the Zoom meeting and, introduce yourself and stuff like that. So I can't wait to meet all the newbies. Let's see here. Clara May sent $5, says, T, finally got into the Discord. I love what you do. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. Thank you so much. I'm glad you were able to make it into the Discord, so definitely welcome. Let's see here. Miss Tonisha says, my birthday just happened on the 22nd of November. Sagittarius season. Love you, T. Much love from Canada. All right. Shout out to all the Sagittariuses. That's what's up. Let's see here. Eat, Slay, and Pray, Sim 499 says, hey, T, wanted to show love. I'm working on my project for my legal ethics class. My birthday is Thursday. Can I get a happy birthday shout out? Happy birthday to you. Happy early birthday. Shout out to all the Sagittariuses in the house. So all the fall babies. Winter's coming soon, but yeah, y'all have a great birthday. Let's see here. Savage Ways 6077. Hopefully I said your name right. I'm sorry if I didn't. They said 999 says, T, you are looking good as fuck. Is that orange or red? Hair 10, skin 10, straight beautiful. Thank you so much. Candy red lips. It is red. Yeah, it's like it's red. I think the lighting is making it look a little orange, but yeah, it's red. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Shelly J says, what? You're coming to Charleston? I would love to have you. Geechee Gullah culture. Yes. Shelly, email me, please, because I'm putting together like an itinerary for me and my kids. So, yeah, please email me because I just want to kind of know like certain spots and things like that. But, yeah, we definitely want to come down there and, have a good time with the Geechees down there, with the Gullah Geechees. So, thank you so much, sis. Let's see here. Marine Blue sent $1.99, says, hey T, hope you're doing well. I am. Thank you so much for checking in. Appreciate you. Kate Boss sent $49.99. Thank you so much, Kate Boss. She says, hey Miss T, what a great blessing for you to go live on my 11th month anniversary of me being sober from alcohol. I'm 29 and I have been watching you since high school. My greatest wish is to be in the Discord. If not, I understand and I love you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you and congratulations to you on being sober. I know it's not easy, especially in this day and age because, alcohol and partying and all that stuff. So definitely give yourself a kudos on the back for making the decision to be sober. Your liver is going to thank you. So thank you so much for the super chat. And yeah, if you did not get a chance to get in, just send us, if you're in the membership, send us a email and we can go from there. Let's see here. It's DB sent $1.99, says, this can't be the same shy Summer Walker. Embarrassment. Yeah, that's why I don't be believing all that. When celebrities be like, oh, I have social anxiety. Remember, she didn't want to do meet and greets because she's swapping down. She had all this social anxiety. But then, when it comes to, being a side chick and, fucking multiple people at the same time, there's no social anxiety in that. I don't be buying all that social anxiety. Just say you don't want to be bothered with your fans. Just say that. Because nothing about the way she's acting is giving me social anxiety. I'm just saying. So I'm not buying that. Let's see here. Cozy and Thistle says these R&B girls are going out sad over these men. Yes, they are. Thank you for the super chat too. I appreciate you. Mandarins91 says, hold up, Summer was dating Little Meech in 2023. The timeline is overlapping, sis. Oh! I didn't even think about the timeline. So now that is really hypocritical. Because she was mad at Little Meech when he got caught up. But you mean to tell me she was messing with Rich the Kid and their timeline was overlapping? Okay, girl. These celebrities are a trip, I swear. Let's see here. Jess 20 says, hey T, just stopping by to say Summer Walker ain't over a damn thing. She's embarrassing. Yeah, ain't nothing cute about that. It's DB says rough 20s with multiple kids and multiple baby daddies. LOL. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't get when women want to sit and talk about aging or making fun of people for getting older. It's so tacky, especially when you are in your very late 20s. Like, let's not do that. Because I'm sorry, a lot of these 40-year-olds are eating a lot of these 20-somethings. So just, simmer down a little bit, okay? Because a lot of y'all look like y'all around my age. So we're not going to do that. But yeah, I just think again, there's nothing wrong with getting older. This is why, again, like I said before, you have 15-year-olds who are out here, rubbing drunk elephant on their face because they're so scared to be over the age of 21. It's sad. So let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's see here. Nostalgic Nate says, T, you look beautiful in that orange. It's red, but thank you. Says, what are your thoughts on Kandi and Todd's divorce? I'm going to do a video on that. Like, I had the thumbnail ready and everything. So I'm going to do a video. I'm going to shoot it after the live stream and then edit it. So it'll probably be up by tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that because I do want to talk about that. And, I love Kandi and Todd. I've met them both. I've been around them both. I remember when I first met Todd, it was so funny. I was at Rashida's birthday party. This was like probably 2 years ago. And so, I was sitting down initially. And so my friend went to introduce me to Todd, like, oh, hey, Todd, this is T. And, me being respectful, I stood up. I stood up to, to speak because I was sitting on the child. I stood up to shake his hand. He was like, damn, you're tall. Todd is itty bitty child. He has to be about 5'1". And, I had on heels and stuff. And he was like, damn, because I stood up and he was like, what the hell? I'll never forget that. He was just like, oh, okay. Like, dang, T, I didn't know you was tall like that. But they're both cool. I feel bad for them. Again, divorce is not easy. But I can't say I'm surprised just with some of the things, the receipts that are coming out and stuff. They tried. 11 years is a long time. But, yeah, you never know. So, you never know. Somebody says, was Rashida rapping like Shawty Lo? My name's Rashida. I rap like Shawty Lo. Every time I see her, I think that in my head, but I don't say anything. But I be thinking. But Rashida's cool, though. I was on stage. I never posted my stuff from One Fest. I don't know. I forgot. But I was on stage with her. I was on the side of the stage when she was performing at One Fest. I need to show y'all the video. I'll post all my stuff. I have pictures with Ray J. Me and Ray J was clowning backstage. Sammy, Bobby Valentino, Pleasure P. You remember me from when he did my live show in Atlanta. So it was good to chop it up with him. Big Gip. I love Big Gip. He's so sweet. And again, I was backstage with Big Boy and CeeLo. Both really, really cool. CeeLo's so sweet. Very nice guy. For the life of me, I need somebody to explain to me why Big Boy is called Big Boy. I asked many of my Atlanta friends and nobody. I thought this whole time, my whole life growing up, I thought Big Boy was like 6 foot tall. He walked up and I was like, dude looks like Big Boy. But I'm like, I know that's not Big Boy. He is like 5 foot tall. Maybe because he has a big persona. He's really cool though. But I did not expect Big Boy to be that short. Like I towered over him and CeeLo. But because I really thought Big Boy was like 6 foot tall. I don't know why I thought that. Maybe because his name. But yeah, he's really short. But he's really cool though. They're both really cool. I had a good time. I don't know why I called him Pressure P. Y'all know you be putting pressure. You be bringing that pressure, honey. But no, Pleasure P's a sweetheart. It was fun. I just forgot to post. I didn't try. I be so in and out. I'll post it on my Instagram when I get a chance. But yeah, Well, I was up there on the stage. It was fun. It was cool watching Rashida perform. She did good. It was cute. No, not that big boy. You can always find a shorty. It's because he used to be 500 pounds. Not that one. Not the big boy, the DJ on the West Coast. It's always some young shorty in the mix. We're talking about from Outcast. You on the wrong coast, baby. Big boy from Outcast ain't never been no 500 pounds. We're not going to do that. He was, maybe a little thick. But I did not know he was that small at all. Because I'm like, I know that's not him. Because, he has a face, but I'm like, I didn't know it was him. But it was him. And he was cool. He did a good job. He had his crunk. Yeah, from Outkast, y'all, not from Los Angeles. I met that one, too. He's really nice. I met him when he was fat, and I met him when he was skinny. He lost a lot of weight. He's really cool. Very, very, the one on the West Coast, Big Boy, the LA DJ, really, really nice guy. Very humble and down to earth. Yeah, but Big Boy from Outkast, and I said, okay, I need ATL family, I need y'all to explain this. His name don't match his height, but I'm just assuming it's because he has a big personality. Because nobody could explain to me why his name was Big Boy. Because he's not tall at all. But he's a great performer. He has a big stage presence, so maybe that's why. And then Busta Rhymes came back there out of nowhere, so he kind of popped up back there. Who else came back there? I don't know. The whole Dungeon family was back there. The whole Dungeon family was really cool. So, yeah, I'm going to have to post some pictures. And then Carrie Hilson. She's really sweet. I got to meet her. And then the girl that raps the affirmation song, I like her. She's really, really cool. So, yeah, I don't know. I just forgot. I be having pictures on my phone. I'll be forgetting to post them, child. Next. Yeah. C. Mello says T is 5'1". How am I 5'1"? Have you ever met me in real life? Just be talking with your whole chest. But yeah, no, Andre 3000 wasn't there. He wasn't there. I wish he was. But no, he wasn't there. But it was like the rest of the Dungeon family. And I'm a big fan of Big Gibbs. I was so happy to meet him. He's really sweet. Yes, Flipper T. That's her name, Flipper T. I love her music. That's her name. She's really cool too. And who else was there? Trinidad James. He's fun. Now he's tall. Trinidad James is tall, but he's very cool. He's so down to earth. He's really cool. Yeah. He's real cool. All right, y'all. Let me keep on reading, and we're gonna move on to the next topic here. Dexter Davis. What's up, Dexter? He ended up gifting 2 memberships. So if y'all are interested, he gifted 2 memberships. Y'all jump on them. I appreciate you. Let's see here. SZA Azealia Banks, or S. Azealia Banks says, talk about Kanika Jenkins' mother. Is she okay? Like, I don't know what's going on with her. I think I heard something about, I know she got the settlement, but I think people were mad that she was wanting, like, to still find out what happened to her daughter, which makes no sense. Why shouldn't she want to know what happened? The settlement is not going to just give her peace, so... yeah. But outside of that, I don't know what else is going on with her. I know that she wants to find out what happened to her daughter, and she has every right to find out. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So let's go ahead. Let me get on to the next topic here. Let's see. Okay, we have over 6,000 people in the house. Please hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Let's see here. Okay, so let's talk about the Mike Epps situation. So comedian Mike Epps is basically, he was getting drugged because he said some things on the Breakfast Club and on this other podcast. He was talking about people, kind of being happy that the food stamps were cut off because people became too reliant on the food and the food is not healthy. Then in another podcast, he was talking about how we celebrate people coming out of jail or prison more than, people doing the right thing. So we're going to go ahead and watch both of these clips. Now with the Breakfast Club one, y'all just gonna have to listen to it because you know they be trying to copyright stuff. So hopefully y'all will be able to hear it. I'm about to play it. Let me know if you guys can't hear. You guys should be able to hear it though. Either way.
And God and keeping the faith. That's why I told people when these food stamps and stuff get cut off, don't worry about that. See, black people, we've been getting our shit cut off. We've been getting our doors kicked in and stuff. This is not for us. So don't take this as personal about the food stamps and all that. I'm actually glad they cutting some of these off food stamps because some of us need to not be on food stamps because it's a trickle-down effect. You get the food stamps, then you go buy the food that give you cancer. Then you eat the food that give you cancer. Then you're sad. You walking around here upset. Your diet's fucked up. Now I'm going to tell you some honest God truth. Your diet then sent a lot of niggas to prison.
Explain.
They're going to take all of this and put it on Fox News.
Yeah.
And it's going to say, Mike Epps says, you niggas don't need to be on food stamps.
You think so?
Yeah.
And you going to go viral, and they going to call you MAGA Mike.
MAGA Mike is crazy.
You got to finish your joke now.
Always loving God and keeping the faith. That's why.
Okay, so let me.
I'm talking.
All right, so now the other podcast, I guess Jim Jones, he got a podcast now. All these rappers have podcasts because obviously nobody's checking for their music. So they all got podcasts. So this one we can watch. All right. So Jim Jones and Mike Epps.
I'm talking about black trauma for black men. All these niggas is gangsters running around talking this street shit. Straight trauma. Nigga.
Went through a lot.
Been through hell.
100%.
You get them niggas to cry, be on the side of the building crying they heart out. You know, because you know, and that's what they do for our youth. We have to start targeting and gearing, celebrating those journeys. Those are the wrong journeys to celebrate, young men. There's no reward for coming home after 30 years. You don't get no fucking care package. You are a failure. Get your ass out here and help these kids. Nigga. Pay that back forward. You see what I'm saying? That's the reward. That's real shit. I'm talking about black trauma for black men. All these niggas is gangsters running around talking this street shit. Straight trauma. Nigga.
Went through a lot.
Been through hell. Nigga.
And it's very interesting that he's saying that to Jim Jones because Jim Jones is damn near 50. Beard gray, braids are gray. And he still be running around claiming blood, gangbang shit in the mix of just foolishness. So, very interesting. You notice Jim Jones didn't have a lot to say because he's one of the main perpetuators at his big age of the foolishness.
What's up, y'all?
So now people started dragging him. I guess the old OGs or I don't know who, because I don't think he said nothing wrong. But people started dragging him. So he says, "Thank you for your ear. Sorry for the misunderstanding. Brothers that come home and change their lives need to be celebrated." So let's go ahead and hear what he has to say now that the internet done got a hold of him. Here goes a whole bold apology tour.
Y'all, it's your man Mike Epps, man. I just want to get on here and clarify and clear a few things up. Number one, about the brothers coming home from prison being celebrated. I've always been a part of reform. I got brothers right now from my hometown that I'm trying to help come home. They've been in prison forever. I think you guys might have misunderstood what I was saying. I might have said it the wrong way, but what I was trying to say is we don't want to send kids mixed messages about coming home from prison, being celebrated, you know, feeling like you got to go to prison and do 30, 40 years to be celebrated. I think you guys misunderstood that, you know, misunderstood what I said. Wasn't saying that it was wrong to be celebrated, but we don't want to send a message to the kids saying prison is great, that you want to go home, go do 30 years and come home. You know. What's up, y'all? I don't think that's cool. So I'm sorry if anybody took it the wrong way and got offended. I love my brothers. I've been incarcerated myself. I understand what that is, but I might have said it the wrong way, but I mean well. And I love you, brothers. free my brothers that's coming home. My man Derek, free all the guys that's coming home, man. And about the food stamp thing. The food stamp thing was misunderstood too. What I was saying is that we need to break the cycle of being on food stamps. There's 3 generations of people that have been on food stamps. Of grandmother, mother. I don't think that's cool. So I'm sorry, mother and daughter, that's crazy. We gotta do better. We can't think that we need assistance. I know there's some people out there that need assistance. That's well, fine, and understood. But there's people out there taking advantage of the system that's not good. So just want to apologize if I offended anybody. You know I love y'all, man, and keep on doing the right thing. Peace.
All right, let me come back on the screen here. Objection. Mike, stop apologizing. Y'all know I say what I say. I don't give a fuck who's offended. Exit stage left. It is what it is. He had nothing to apologize for. You do have some people who do abuse food stamps. We see them on TikTok doing them big ass food stamp EBT hauls. Notice it's been quiet. They're not doing them hauls anymore now that these restrictions have been put in place. And it's unfortunate because the people who really need it, who might have just fallen on hard times, got laid off, things like that, they're not able to get it because somebody wants to sit on there who's able-bodied, healthy, and just wants to take advantage of the system. You have people like that. And all those people are not black, so there's nothing to apologize for. Because we all know it's more white people on food stamps than black people. So there's really no reason for black people to be offended by that. We're not the main recipients of said benefits. Most of the recipients are poor people in the South and red states. They are the majority recipients of the food stamp benefits. Okay? Another thing. As far as the jail thing, black folks knew what he meant. But see, what it is that you have a segment of the population, they love to support and uplift criminality. And Jim Jones, like somebody said in the chat, Jim Jones is an old ass YN. And he is. He's another one, like I said, he loves to perpetuate that lifestyle. So a lot of people who follow him, they also have the mentality. So of course, they're offended, they feel away. It is very true that people will throw barbecues and welcome home parties for people getting out of jail. But let somebody go to college, get their degree, get into all this student loan debt. People are, they're barely throwing parties for that. I know people who have thrown more welcome home parties from back to prison and jail than for people graduating college. And I think that's insane. And that's what he was trying to say. We need to stop throwing those type of parties and normalizing it. You going to prison for 30 years means you failed somewhere in life. That is true. Doesn't mean that you're a failure for life, because what you have to do is once you're out, now you have to make amends. Now you have to, switch things up. Now you can, your life is not over. You just have to start over and do better. But at some point in time, you did fail, because if you did not fail, you would not have done 30 years in prison. That shit, why is that wrong to say? You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he had anything to apologize for. I think, these are real conversations that need to be had. And it's about time that older black men are having these conversations and talking to younger black men about doing the right thing. Because it's always easy to chastise, especially black women. Y'all need to stop listening to Sexy Red. She's a whore. She's turning out all these young girls. Female rap is just about whoredom. Yes, a lot of it is. But when are y'all also going to hold these male rappers accountable for doing nothing but rapping about drugs and death and perpetuating gangbang culture and all that stuff? That's why I really like the fact that this whole quarter zip movement is taking off. Y'all didn't invent anything. I love how this generation swears up and down they just invent some shit. We're wearing quarter zips. We were doing that, okay, back in the day, in the early 2000s. Remember everybody used to wear them damn business attire to the club? Men wore quarter zips to the club and women were wearing suit jackets. So we been did the business casual thing, honey. Our generation started it, but I'm glad that Gen Z, okay, is now falling in line and they're trying to, do something a little bit different. I'm not mad at it. I think it's cute. I think it's something positive. You know, if we can be out here promoting the fuck shit and the YN culture, I like the fact that they're just trying to try something new. If young dudes want to go to Starbucks and wear a quarter zip and, you know what I'm saying, get involved in the right thing, I'm all here for it. Because something has to change. But I think it's sad when people try to play willfully ignorant and act like they didn't understand where he was coming from when he said that. Everybody doesn't support criminality. And I think that's what people need to understand. That it might look cool in hip hop. It might look cool in certain situations. But a lot of folks don't want to be around that. Especially people who have worked hard to get themselves out of certain situations, out of certain environments. You shouldn't have to make any apologies for that. I'm not going to no, you know what I'm saying, jailbird release party. Not interested. If you wanted to see me, you should have stayed your ass out of jail. So that's just what it is. I don't think he said anything wrong. I think he was just keeping it real. And he was just, you know, trying to let the youth know, like, you know, make good decisions so that way you don't end up in prison for the next 20, 30 years. You got so many people out here just acting out on emotions and having a lack of emotional self-control. And then when they find themselves in certain situations, then, you know, it's like shocker. So what he's saying is to like basically do the right thing. And let's also, if we can uplift people coming out of prison after 10, 15 years, let's also uplift those young black men and women who are choosing the right path, who are choosing to go to school, who are choosing to go to the trades, who are choosing to, you know, stay out of trouble. You know, and again, nobody's perfect. You know, people go through stuff all the time. Me and my oldest, we was having a conversation because one of his friends, you know, he went through it. You know, he was kind of slipping for a few years, but I'm so proud of him. He's back on the right track, you know, and he had to kind of learn the hard way. DUIs and going to jail, getting into fights in the club. And, you know, now they're all at that age where their frontal cortex is starting to, you know, grow because they're all they're like between the ages of 24, 25 now. So now they're like, they had this conversation on the weekend where they kind of look back on it like, yeah, like I had to get myself together. And he's so proud of himself now. He has a good job. You know, he's a manager now, you know, running his department where he works at. He got his license back. You know, he had to pay thousands of dollars in fines for the DUI. And like I said, you know, this is just his next chapter of life. You know, still young. You have your whole life ahead of you. But the thing is, everybody makes mistakes. But the thing is to learn from it. Don't just make a mistake and then just, it is what it is. Learn from it. So that way you're not going to repeat that same mistake over and over. So I'm super proud of him for like just getting himself together and, you know, working. He's walking around here in suits. I'm like, okay, you know. So it just feels so good to see a lot of them just growing up and changing. Like, oh, you're not. I remember when NBA YoungBoy came out here and my youngest son and his friends, they all went. You know, they're all at that age. So they all went, had front row seats and everything. And I told my youngest, y'all don't be out there acting up. I don't want to see y'all on social media. But again, there's a lot of YNs there. And the video went viral, so embarrassing. I saw the video before it ever even hit social media. I was like, I hope it doesn't end up on the Shade Room. Of course it did. Of the YNs beating up the older white guy in the crowd at the NBA Young concert in Minneapolis. Insane. But I remember asking, because my oldest son, him and his friends, they had all stopped by here because I think I was cooking and stuff, so they all came to get food. And I was like, are y'all going to the NBA YoungBoy concert? And they're all like, nah, we too old for that. One of his friends has a baby on the way. He's like, nah, I'm a dad. Nah, I can't be down there with all them YNs. I was like, oh, okay, all right, y'all are growing up. Because usually, you know, that's, you know, they're running down there. So it's like, okay, y'all are growing up now. So it's just funny to just see how much they're all maturing, you know. And, you know, and that's just what it is. It's just that age. And I'm not saying you can't go to a concert, you know, go do you. Because my youngest asked if I was going. I said, no, I'm not going to NBA YoungBoy. Now I'll go to Rod Wave. You know, y'all will see me at something like that. But no, I'm not about to be dealing with a bunch of damn 15, 16-year-olds. Absolutely not. I'm out. But they went. They had a good time. He really enjoyed it. He had a really good time, you know. So, you know, just understand that, you know, even through mistakes and people, you know, learning hard lessons in life, you can come back from that. You know, but let's just not celebrate the fuck shit. Let's call it out, hold people accountable, but then when they're also doing the right thing, give them a pat on the back. Let them know, like, yo, I'm proud of you. I'm glad, like, y'all are switching it up. You know, and just saying that can come from anybody. It doesn't necessarily have to come from a parent. You know, if you see a young person and they were struggling initially and now they're getting things on track, let them know that you're proud of them, that you see them. That really makes people's day. You know what I mean? Like, it made me proud of him to hear him say, like, no, I'm not going to go to the NBA Youngboy concert. I'm about to be a dad. I can't be in downtown Minneapolis fighting and being in and out the bars. Because he loved to fight, honey. I was like, I'm so proud of you that you're not out here fighting anymore. You know, so, yeah. And y'all know I'm the mom where, you know, I show up at the damn clubs. Oh, shit. My son and his friends are here. I'm out. So I ran into a few of them when I just been out, you know. And it's like, so it's like that awkward age because I have, you know, grown kids. But, you know, I still date and go out on dates and I look young. So it's like, I'll show up and it's like their friends be there. I'm like, yeah, this is awkward. All right, too young for me. Let's find another spot. So I'm always happy when I hear, like, you know, they're just doing better. Like, y'all don't be out there fighting and getting into it, folks, child. I hate that. Like, what happened this weekend? Oh, no, not y'all in the club fighting. Who started the fight this weekend? You know, so I just love the fact that they're all maturing. No more, you know, drunken brawls at the damn Cowboy Jacks and shit. Like, I just love that. I love the fact they're all maturing and handling their business, you know, so. Sassy said, oh, you're that fun mom. Yeah. But it's funny because it's like, you know, I don't get involved in their stuff. I'm not, you know, y'all do y'all. I'm going to be over here in my little corner, you know, but it's just, but then it's like that mom in me where I'm like, how many drinks you done had? No more, you know? Or they'll be like, oh, Miss T, let me buy you a drink. I'm like, I don't drink. You can give me a water, you know? That's about it. Like, I'm not taking shots with y'all. Get away from me. But yeah, man, it's crazy. So I agree with what Mike is saying. I really do. I just think that we need to celebrate both. And it's not about condemning people. Because, again, people make mistakes, especially when you're young. Young people make mistakes, you know. It could be where you're in the car and one of your friends decides to pull a drive-by. Well, all y'all are going to prison, you know? So it's like, again, we got to teach people, especially when they're young. And that's one thing I always instilled in my boys. Like, I trust y'all for the most part. I don't know these other kids. I don't know their parents. So I need you to listen to your discernment, to your gut instinct, that if something doesn't feel right, don't go through with it. You know, because that might just save your life, save you from going to jail. So, you know, those are the conversations you have to have with your kids. They can't just be followers. If something's not right, don't do it. Don't go along with it. Because sometimes you can get in a car with somebody and they can get involved in some stuff and it can change the whole trajectory of your life. So you got to know your friends. You got to know who you're running with and what they're about. And if they're not about shit, there's nothing wrong with cutting somebody off. Because you don't want somebody else's karma, their sins, befalling you. So I think those are like real conversations. So I don't think he had anything to apologize for. If people can't handle real conversations, well, then you go bury your head in the sand and let the folks who want to have real dialogue and real conversations, who see the big picture, let us politic. You sit over here and cry and whine and have all your woe is me moments. We want to have real dialogue with people who want something out of their life. Because life is short. You're only here for so long. Don't nobody got time to be here running from warrants and, you know, jail sentences. And, you know, life is too short. So you have to just be really careful with your moves. Let's see here. Raquel says, hey, T, I'm from South Carolina. Okay. That's what's up. Hey Girl says, today people are crashing out beyond mistakes. Yeah. So you just have to be really careful and know who you're running with and who you're, you know, hanging out with. Let's see here. Pretty Pink Polish says, love you, T. I'm a juvenile court caseworker. I love helping the youth get on the right track. It's an honor. See you in the Discord in 2026. Thank you so much, and thank you for your work, you know. Because, again, like I said, kids make mistakes. You know, kids get into stuff and all types of things. But it's always amazing when you see them, you know, 4, 5, 6 years later. You know, maybe their parents or they're working a good job or they got their degree. I can imagine how fulfilling that is. Because when you're young, you just don't know. You're just going through the motions and trying to figure out life. So that's why I say, like, you know, the younger you can start instilling certain things in young people and letting them know, the better that their quality of life will be. But again, you have to show them the right thing. That's why, like, I was so upset watching that video of that young woman getting jumped, because I could already tell the household that those kids came from. And I don't give a damn about the little girl being a cheerleader captain and all. That means nothing. Your daughter was the first person to throw a punch on an innocent person. So that lets me know that what she's seen in the household is what she's exhibiting. She's seen where you've crashed out on somebody, and she thinks that that's okay. So a lot of this stuff starts in the household. So let's see here. Beyonce's wig said $19.99. She said, he ain't lying. Look at the fanfare Blueface is getting, and he's still a womanizing gangbanger after 2 years. Exactly. That's a perfect example. Thank you so much for the super chat. That's a perfect example. And you notice we haven't really been posting too much of Blueface and Krishan. You know, it's annoying. It's like the same thing. He didn't get any better. He's a walking billboard for logos, and he's not getting a damn dime from any of those logos that he has tatted on his face. It's sad. Yeah, he's getting shows. He's getting the red carpet. And that's how it is. It's like I said, we live in the upside down world where bad is good and good is bad. You know, even with Krishan, all the nonsense that she's done. And she's still out here being elevated and everything else. Her son has a whole disability because of her. And meanwhile, you have real young mothers out here, single mothers who did not take drugs throughout their pregnancy, who were just trying to make ends meet one day at a time and take care of their kids. And it's like they have no help. So it's crazy. Yeah, and Hazel E, I've been seeing that too. Hazel E hanging around him. And Hazel E, she's grown. She's in her 40s. But again, clout is a hell of a drug. She wants to be attached to something because nobody's checking for Hazel E. Yeah, nobody's checking for her at all. Somebody said, did you see that Scotty is pregnant by Lemon Pepper? I haven't checked for the baddies in a long time. Is she actually showing, though? Let me see if she's showing. So she's actually pregnant, huh? Okay, girl. So they're out and open with their relationship now? Oh, so this was just confirmed 21 hours ago. Okay, let me show y'all this. I guess Scotty the Body is pregnant. It's giving me gold digger vibes, but okay. So this is the video. So they said she done confirmed she's pregnant, child. What they got to say? Oh my God, it's so good in there, bitch. Bro, how you use that? Oh God,
make me cry. I'm pregnant. I'm so nervous. I'm happy, but I'm really happy that I got to tell these ladies because they are mothers. And if it's a boy, that's fine. I was thinking like.
Okay, so is this the new season of Baddies? I thought they were going to stop after Baddies Africa. They lied. They swear up and down it's the last season. Okay. So he's just not with the wife anymore, huh? They said they weren't ever even really married, so who knows? What's her name? Janisha? Anything for a storyline. So what is this? I see Krishan is back. I'm surprised this show is still going on. Yeah, she was another one who was a side chick. So again, like I said, there's no shame. They don't care. She's looking at it like Lemmy has money, so she's straight and her baby's straight. Yeah, I don't know what show that is, so maybe it's just, unless they have another show, I'm not sure. Because like I said, oh, Baddies USA. What the hell is Baddies USA? Child. So they done left Africa. Now they're... Okay. I didn't even finish the Africa season. It was just too much. There was no point. All they did literally was fight every day. I think the last episode I saw was when... Who was the girl that kept fighting everybody with the annoying voice? The brown-skinned girl. Remember, it was all three of them. The one country girl, the one from... I don't know. Whenever she got beat up by security, because she spit on security, I checked out. Whatever her name was. I haven't watched it since then. I was done. I was done with Baddies. It's just too much. Yeah, I didn't know they had a Baddies USA. Okay, child. Well, thank you for that, T, because I didn't know she was pregnant either. Somebody said it dropped yesterday. Huh. Yeah, they were in Africa acting a fool. All they did was fight. Okay, so let me see here. Let me go ahead and pull up. What time is it? Okay, 6:30. So I want to talk about this situation here. Oh, yeah, okay. Before I talk about the hospital situation, I want to talk about Juelz Santana. So this is another person who's on a podcast. So he went viral today for this foolishness. Basically, Juelz Santana's out here talking about people don't need to know how to read. That you can just use AI to read for you. The only thing that kids need to know is math. And that's it. Again, this is why everybody don't need a podcast. So give me just a second here. Let me pull up this video. So let's just play the video.
His voice on
So we gotta start teaching our kids though, just financial wealth and literacy and all that. That shit early, because by the time they get to 9th grade, they should be just learning how to start businesses and how to. But they don't really need to know how to read.
Wait, stop. Wait,
I ain't gonna say that. I say that respectfully. I'm not saying that in a way to be literate, because you're not supposed to be illiterate, but you can.
What's more important, reading or math?
Math.
Told you.
Math. I think you could listen to a book on YouTube. You can still obtain the information. You don't have to know how to read. That's not reading and understanding. I believe common sense is better than everything. I'm a common sense. I'd rather have zero book smarts and common sense, be able to read the room, be able to read life, be able to read people. I try to understand people, understand, you know what I'm saying? Like, nowadays, you can listen to a book. I just listen to the 48 Laws of Power. Not to,
you gotta read your contract, Els.
You don't have to. You can listen to that too. They got apps you can put it in and it'll read it to you. Are you crazy? Huh? It probably will. AI will now. That's what I'm saying. That's how freaky it is. You
don't have to read. It'll be told to you.
It'll be so. I'm not saying that in a bad way. Like you don't need to know how to read.
Floyd Mayweather don't read that shit.
Restaurant. Like it's mad shit how to read.
You saying that, you just gotta know what you like. You ain't gotta read the restaurant. You can just say, what is this, a steak joint? I want steak. What y'all steak come with? What y'all got? When the waiter come,
reading way more important.
When the waiter come, you be like, what come with? Seriously though.
This is so embarrassing. And this is why, people get older, but their mentality just does not change because they're stuck with like a poverty hood mindset. My thing is this, and then he's trying to act like he's smart. Respectfully. Just because can people stop using the word respectfully? Stop saying respectfully just to be disrespectful, okay? Do you understand that in order for a child to have any type of financial literacy, they have to be literate? That is, like, literacy is literally in the word. Financial literacy. They need to be literate to understand finances. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, sir? And then he sounds high as giraffe coochie. Yeah, you could just, there's an app, it could just read to you. You just go in the steak joint and be like, I just want a steak. You don't want to know what else is on the menu besides a steak? I think the drugs have just fried his brain. He's not making any sense whatsoever. Why would you not encourage people, especially young people, to read, to know math, just because you had the 48 Laws of Power read to you via YouTube video? That's not the same thing. And this is why they're saying, like, this is the issue that's going on in the classroom right now with a lot of these teachers. They're at their wits' end. A lot of teachers are quitting because these kids are no longer interested in reading. They're no longer interested in the fundamentals and the basics. And I think that's because of people like Juelz and others, because trust me, he's not the only one, who feel like that's no longer important. It's just about being an entrepreneur. Do you understand that everybody cannot be a damn entrepreneur? I wish that word would be retired. Objection, please retire the word entrepreneur. I'm so tired of the word entrepreneur, the word LLC, working for myself. It's such BS. Like, do you understand how hard it is to be an entrepreneur? And depending on what you are going, what you're doing in your entrepreneur venture, right? Depending on what you're doing, you don't even know if you're going to make any money off of it. Like, people act like if they just have the title entrepreneur, they're automatically rich. That's not how it happens. Everybody can't be the boss. Everybody can't run a business, and some people don't want to. It is okay to work a 9-to-5. It is okay to be smart. It is okay to be a reader. It is okay to know your math. Like, this is insane. And this is why I feel like in the future, this is why AI is becoming more and more prevalent. People don't even want to think for themselves anymore. It's one thing to ask AI questions or be like, okay, can you put together this for me, or put together an itinerary, something quick to, save you some quick time. It's another thing when you don't even want to research. You don't even want to think. And that's what's happening. He's literally saying, you don't even got to read. You can have an app just read to you. Is reading that bad? Is it that stressful? But the thing is, y'all will sit here and read bullshit, though. Y'all will sit online, on Twitter, in the shade room, reading all the latest gossip, who's fucking who. But when it comes to real stuff that you need to know, no, that's too much work. I don't want that. Because he just reads what he wants to read. And that's why I say you got to know who you're following. You can't. I come from the era of reading Rainbow. Butterfly in the sky, I can fly twice as high. Like, when did we start demonizing reading? Like, that is just weird to me. And this is why you have kids who are starting school, kindergarten, can't spell their name, don't know their real name, don't know their ABCs, don't know how to count to 10. Like, I be shocked when I be on teacher TikTok, and I sit there and I hear, matter of fact, one of my sister-in-laws, she's a teacher. She works like in the school system. But it's like, it just shocks me to hear like how unprepared some of these kindergartners are. You have some that are going to school not even potty trained. How are you 5 still peeing and shitting on yourself? That is insane. My kids were potty trained by the time they were 2, 3 years old. Big boy underwear. They were happy to wear big boy underwear. Like, if you can tell me that you need your diaper changed, you better be able to sit on that toilet by yourself. That is insane. That people are having kindergartners going to school and they're not potty trained. And then they're mad at the teacher and saying it's your job to teach my child how to be potty trained. We used to have to know how to tie our shoes by the time we were in kindergarten and first grade. If you couldn't tie your shoes by the time you were in first grade, oh, you got clowned if you were wearing Velcro. sneakers. Because everybody knew. Remember that in the 80s? If you had on Velcro sneakers, you were clowned. Because everybody knew that you couldn't tie your shoes. What was that? Make the 2 bunny ears swoop and loop and tie? Like, what is going on with the motor skills and just like the things that kids should know? They taught us that in kindergarten. Bunny ears, swoop and loop. They spent like a few days teaching everybody how to tie their shoe. And you caught on. So if your kindergarten teacher didn't teach you that, by the time you got to 1st grade, you wearing Velcro shoes, you was getting clowned. Oh, you don't know how to tie your shoes. We didn't give a damn about the name brand. Nobody clowned you because you weren't wearing a bunch of Nike Air Force Ones. They clowned you for wearing Velcro shoes because you couldn't tie your shoes. You were too big to be walking around here not knowing how to tie your shoes. Now you got kindergartners who don't know how to go to the bathroom by themselves. That's insane to me. We're messing up as a society. And the sad part is you have dumbass adults like Juelz Santana saying that you don't need any type of literacy, just financial literacy. You got no finance and math. You understand? You got to read and understand and comprehend the math problems and the financial part of it. You can't make this up. Yeah. BXD says lack of parenting skills. I agree. Brett says bring back shame. Black Lovely said I saw a grown-ass man during the bunny ears to tie his shoes. I'm not mad at him. As long as he can tie his shoes. I'm not going to judge the process. Okay? Because I still count on my fingers. Okay? When I'm leaving tips and stuff, I still... That's how we was raised. Count on your fingers. We didn't have calculators. We didn't have cell phones. So I still count on my fingers for certain things. Like, no shame. Now, if he was grown and couldn't tie his shoe, then clown him. But if he has to do the bunny ears and swoop, we're not mad at you, brother. As long as your shoes are tied and you're not tripping and falling. Because that would be a lot more embarrassing if he couldn't tie his shoe and he just kept tripping all over the place. So we're not going to judge him. Also, some of y'all do too. Okay, so I'm not the only one who still counts on my fingers. My kids become like, Mom, you still count on your fingers? I sure do. Yes. We didn't have all that fancy equipment. I still do, yep. Uh-huh. Somebody says count on your fingers is a sign of intelligence. Oh, I didn't know that. Wow. Well, thank you for that. I didn't know. Des Q8Y said that. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I thought it was just me because my kids be clowning me. Like, well, you be just counting on your fingers. I sure do. Shit. We gonna get this math together and we gonna get it right. Make sure I got my change back. But yeah, no, that is sad. That annoyed me so much when I saw that. And this is why we keep saying everybody don't need a podcast. A lot of these rappers, I wish they would just wrap up this whole podcast era. I'm over it. I know a lot of them are not making money like that. Outside of Joe Budden, who has a successful podcast, Cameron and Mace have a successful podcast. A lot of these new ones that are just trying to jump in the game because it's something to do, they're not getting no big checks like that. They, at this point, return the podcast equipment back to Best Buy. Okay? Because for you to say that kids don't need to read is insane. It's insane. This man can barely talk and he's saying that people shouldn't read. And this is why you have a lot of kids now who are in school. They're not interested in learning. They just want to be entrepreneurs. They just want to be YouTubers. They just want to be famous for no reason, just to be famous. And what they're not understanding is that to be an influencer, to be a YouTuber, a Twitch streamer, it's just like winning the lottery. Everybody can't be Kai Cenat, just like everybody can't be Beyonce. And we understood this growing up. That certain people may have been blessed with a talent, or maybe it was nepotism, but we understood that we can't all be actors. We can't all be singers. We can't all be entertainers. So you need to find what the fuck you're good at and stop worrying about trying to be the next rapper, the next singer. But now it's like everything is just so oversaturated. It's crazy. And again, it's too much reliant on technology. As much as I love technology and technology has, helped in so many ways, I can see how it's dumbing down a generation of kids. I've watched kids at restaurants, while I'm eating, and nobody's paying the kid any mind. The kid is just on the iPad. They're coloring with their fingers. And I'm like, damn, y'all are coloring with y'all's fingers? What happened to the crayons and the paper that taught you to stay within the lines? And I just feel like that's just fine motor skills. Because now I'm hearing that kids don't even know how to hold pencils. They can't even hold pencils and write. They don't even know how to color with crayons because they're so used to that smooth surface. So they have weak wrists. That's what the kindergarten teachers are saying on TikTok. That their wrist muscles have not even been developed because they're just doing this. They're not used to coloring and writing their name. If you try and have them hold a pencil, they don't even know how to hold a pencil. That is on the parents. That is scary. Because if they can't even hold a pencil to write, that means you don't even know your address. You don't even know your first and last name or how to write it. So if your child gets lost, God forbid, they don't even know their address. I don't know. It's scary. It was just a lot of stuff that we had to know even before we started school that I'm just so shocked that these kids don't know. Because and even like with my oldest, when he was starting school, that was my whole thing, especially being a teen parent. Oh, you're not going to be the dumb kid in the classroom. Just because you got the youngest mom in the classroom, they're not going to look at me like I'm not doing my job like the older parents. So we knew by the time he got to kindergarten, he could write his first and last name. And his real name is very long. Address, he could count. Because you're not going to be like, oh, he doesn't know it because his mom was young. Nah, absolutely not. We didn't play that. Yeah, phone numbers, all that. I don't know. So I hate to hear stuff like that. I hate to hear that. No excuse. Yeah, a lot of kids don't know their phone numbers, don't know their parents' phone numbers. Because think about it, when we were young, we had all of the kids in our classes' phone numbers memorized. I knew everybody's number in the class. The problem is technology. Hell, I barely know my own phone number now. Because when we look at our phone, we say, call mom, or pull up mom, or pull up such and such. We're not being taught to such and such's number is 818-2224. You know what I mean? We're going off of the names in our phone. So a lot of us don't memorize numbers no more. So these smartphones have dumbed us down. When I was young, I knew all the kids' phone numbers in my 5th grade class. Because our 5th grade class was messy, honey. Okay? We had things to talk about. Bobby and Whitney, what the hell were they thinking? Why are they dating? He's a bad boy. We used to be some little gossipy ass kids. We used to be sipping celebrity tea back then. And then we'd all call each other on 3-way. Big ass party line, be like 10 kids, 5th graders on the phone. And you'd have to know everybody's phone number. Hold on, let me call such and such. Okay, cool. Now you call such and such. Now I'd be like, what is my phone number again? I'd be having to go on my phone sometimes to look at my number. But then I am also dealing with head stuff too. So, not to excuse it, but that doesn't help either. But yeah, it's sad, man. Yup, analog clocks. I found out a lot of these kids, they'll get in my car and be like, what? Because in my Lexus, it has y'all always make fun of how I say Roman numerals. I don't know if Roman noodles. I can never pronounce that word. But it has that type of clock. And the kids cannot tell what time that is when little kids get in my car. Like, what's that? I'm like, it's a clock. Oh. Like, what time does that say, little kid? I don't know. And they'll just look at their phone. So, yeah. Even three-way calling is very confusing for me. Even that's not easy. And then you don't know when the other person is picked up. Before you would hear that click. Like, okay, hold on. Click. Do. Wait to ring. And then now it's just like you have to hit merge and don't nobody know who's on. Then how do you hang it up? When I want to end the three-way call, I hang up on everybody. Before you would hang up and that last person you called got hung up on. Now it's like, okay, well, such and such hung up. Well, let me just go ahead and hang up on it because I don't know how to end the call. So then everybody got to call me back. Like, till you hung up on it. Well, I don't know how to do this shit. Hang up on everybody. It's too confusing. Take me back to the 90s and the 2000s. Somebody says on the new phone, it says hold. Yeah, but it don't say end. Like when I hit end, everybody hangs up. So I don't know. It confuses me. Oh, so it's not just me. Okay, good. Because I'm like, I don't get it. You want a three-way call? Just know how the call's going to end messing with TT. Everybody going to get hung up on, and we're just going to, call y'all back. I don't know what to do. But yeah, the 90s, man, we used to be on them party lines. Oh, my, we used to be deep. Not like a good old three-way call with everybody. Half the class be on the phone. Talking about what happened in Dare this week. But yeah, he's a mess. All right, yes. Let me see. How long have I been out here? Let me see. Okay, we got over 6,000 people in here. Please hit the like button. So let's go ahead. I want to talk about a really serious topic. I wanted to save it towards the end of the show because it's just so much going on. It's just, So last week, I was on social media and I ran across a viral video of a young lady. She was in the hospital and she was like screaming. Pregnant, screaming. And I think her mom was with her and she was saying that, she's about to go into labor. She needs help. And the nurse was just simply ignoring her, acting like she didn't give a damn about her. That young lady's name is Kiera Jones. Okay, this happened at Dallas Regional Medical Center. So we're going to start with that video first of Kiera. I want y'all to watch that video. I think this is the one here. Okay. So this was the first video here. Let me see if this plays.
Fuck! When's your due date? Right now! Is your due date 11? What? How many times have you been pregnant? 3! This is your 3rd pregnancy? Yes! You have 2 babies at home? It's in my ass! You have 2 babies at home? Who's your doctor?
Lang is her doctor. Y'all treat all your patients like this or just the black ones?
Okay, this is the first patient for you. Last name is Jones. She's G3P2. I'm not sure when her due date is.
Her due date is the 10th.
I think her due date's the 10th.
She got 3 pregnancies, 2 babies at home. I bet y'all listen next time. When you found out you was delivering at this hospital, your ass should have changed doctors. Everybody say how they treat people here.
And here goes the second half.
Thank you.
Not even acknowledging her.
Are you able to call the anesthesiologist?
Someone is coming to take you to labor and delivery.
That's not what I asked. I cannot know.
Okay. So when I initially saw that video, you know, I was pissed off. Not shocked, but definitely just, I was pissed watching it. And then they said another lady was pregnant. Now this woman, Kiara, had her baby 12 minutes after that whole situation. Then another woman in Indiana, not even a week late, because I'm like, well, what do you mean a pregnant woman? That was last week's story. I'm thinking the mainstream media is just now catching on to last week's story. Oh no, this is a whole nother black woman with her husband that were turned away from the hospital. So let me go ahead and pull this up. So first, okay, before we go to that one, let's watch the news story concerning the Dallas woman, Kiara. Let's watch that story first really quick before I pull up the other story. Because this is sick.
Tonight, state leaders are addressing a viral video that appears to show a black woman left waiting for a room while in labor at Dallas Regional Medical Center.
NBC5's Allie Spilliards spoke with one of the lawmakers calling for accountability. Allie, what did she tell you?
Brian and Brittany, like many of her constituents, State Representative Retta Bowers says she wants answers about allegations that this mother-to-be was forced to wait more than half an hour while in labor. She and Representative Linda Garcia met with Mesquite City leaders and the CEO of Dallas Regional Medical Center this morning after they saw this now viral video. In a statement, the leaders expressed concern, pointing to CDC data that shows black women are 3.5 times more likely than white women to die in childbirth. While the hospital is now conducting an internal investigation, tonight Bowers told me she believes this mother's race did play a role in her apparent wait for care.
I think it was evident that that's what was happening. And I think I have to share with you, Allie, that is what prompted me to move swiftly. Because the nature of what you could see in that video, it brought thoughts to me of my own experience in the community with an OB and gynecologist in the city that certainly worked out of that hospital. And I thought something has to be done. We need to talk.
In a statement, Dallas Regional Medical Center told us the safety, dignity, and well-being of our patients are always our highest priorities. We are committed to providing compassionate, high-quality care to every person who comes through our doors, and we are reviewing the situation to understand what occurred. Due to patient privacy laws, we cannot share further details at this time, but our focus remains on ensuring that every patient receives the attentive, respectful care they deserve. Those involved have asked the community for patience as this investigation plays out, though Bowers tells me this really is just the start of the conversation. That woman's family, by the way, declined our interview request, saying that for now, they are focused on her recovery.
Okay. So now let's go ahead and get on to the other story, the couple. So this is the one the family members are going to talk first.
To her baby in her car, minutes after being turned away from a Northwest Indiana hospital.
Video shows her being wheeled out by hospital staff, and she's clearly in pain. Our SL Razai is live in Munster, where the woman and her baby are recovering right now. SL?
Yeah, Joe, Erica, the videos the family posted online have quickly gone viral. It shows them at another hospital about 30 minutes away from here in Crown Point. The family says 8 minutes after being turned away from there, their baby was born in their car. 911 dispatchers were on the phone with them and led them here to Community Hospital, where they say they were welcomed with open arms.
What is being kicked out of this hospital?
and she's in active labor.
This is video the family posted to Facebook showing Mercedes Juelz being pushed down the hallway of a Crown Point hospital in a wheelchair. Her family says she was in active labor, but they say hospital staff told her because she was only dilated 3 centimeters, she would have to come back later. Her sister-in-law, Sharice Joy Thompson, says they were visiting family in Indiana, and the baby wasn't due for another couple of weeks.
I feel like my family's rights have been violated.
She says 8 minutes after being discharged from Franciscan Health in Crown Point, the baby was born in the car.
She said, I got to push. And so he was driving with one hand, ripped her pants off with the other hand, and looked down, and he said he could see the baby's head. And he was like, oh my God, here's the baby's head. He like grabbed a blanket, caught the baby, and then put the baby on my sister-in-law's chest, Mercedes' chest, and the umbilical, everything was still attached, and they kept on driving.
She says they're grateful for the staff at Community Hospital, where the family is now.
911 was able to call the hospital and give them notice that they were coming. And so there were 15 doctors and nurses outside waiting for them to arrive.
She called her brother a hero.
He was able to, be calm and deliver his baby in that kind of like pressure.
She shared how her sister-in-law is feeling right now.
So when I went to the hospital yesterday, when I opened up the door, Mercedes saw me, she just started crying because she feels violated. She feels unheard. She feels dismissed.
And right now, the family hopes hospital staff that turn.
Okay, so now they've lawyered up as they should. So we're gonna watch Mercedes and her husband speak on the situation.
Others are demanding policy changes at a Northwest Indiana hospital. They claim they were turned away from that hospital and forced to deliver their own baby on the side of the road. Arnold Brennan covering this story for us, and you spoke to the couple this morning. What did they tell you?
Well, so they've hired an attorney, and that's where they spoke to us from, the attorney's office this morning. They told us they spent 6 hours at Franciscan Health in Crown Point, and instead of being treated and greeted with empathy, they say they were ultimately sent out the door with a security escort.
A baby delivered in a car suggests a mother didn't make it to the hospital in time.
Being put out in active labor.
But Mercedes Juelz made it to Franciscan Health in Crown Point, Indiana.
My daughter is being kicked out of this hospital.
She and her husband Leon say the hospital turned her away while she was in labor, forcing Leon to deliver their daughter in the front seat.
We walked out of the hospital at 6:20 in the morning, Sunday morning, and the baby came 8 minutes later.
Baby came out, and just didn't know what to do. I just prayed and asked God for guidance.
Now the couple has a new baby girl and a new attorney.
This is something that should have never, ever happened.
The Juelz family says they called ahead to the ER, knowing baby Alina was coming 2 weeks early.
I was met with really stern faces, like no welcoming faces as I usually would get when I go to, a hospital or a place of care.
Mercedes says a nurse who checked on her said she wasn't far enough along and seemed intent on sending her away.
I was in excruciating pain. She seen me in pain and agony, and I guess she still perceived me to not be in labor.
Her contractions were just a minute apart, but the mother of 4 says she was discharged on doctor's orders without ever seeing a doctor.
Accountability looks like making certain that the woman that made the decision to kick her out of this hospital doesn't work there anymore.
The couple claims it was discrimination.
I've seen how common it is in the Black community, so I know that it happens often. I just never thought it would happen to me.
They want a sit-down meeting with hospital administrators to talk policy changes so no other mother in labor is turned away.
So in a statement, the president and CEO of Franciscan Health Crown Point says the videos that the Juelz shared were, quote, deeply troubling, adding that they don't represent the healthcare system's values. And Marie, they've also launched their own investigation into what happened.
Curious to hear about the results of that and what happens next with it.
All right, no, next. And we don't want to hear about the results of their fucked up ass, fake ass investigation. Let me come back on the screen. So I'm not going to lie, when I first saw the first story that was really messed up. And then to see it happen a week later, like this shit like really made me cry. I'm not even gonna lie. Because I feel like Black children can't even come into the world in peace and with like love and with adequate care because of like all these medical misconceptions. How is a woman, let's start with the First Lady Kira, in the hospital screaming and agonizing pain, and the nurse is just calm, just so dismissive. Like, as a woman, just hearing somebody screaming like that, and I'm assuming the nurse may be a mother as well, maybe not. But just hearing somebody in pain like that, that's not a natural scream. That's not just, oh, she's looking for attention. Oh, she's being dramatic. Those are labor screams. Nobody's offering this woman an epidural, let alone empathy. Like, that was insane. For her to be dismissed, nobody's checking her. And 12 minutes later, her baby's born. Now let's go on to Mercedes. That shit like really had me in tears when I watched that video initially. Because I'm just like, what the hell is going on? This was a week apart. So now it's causing a national conversation. But if any of y'all have been on this channel for years, you guys know the shit I've dealt with the medical system and how they treat Black women. And not even Black women, but Black people in general, how our pain is minimized. And there's still a lot of old tropes and stereotypes that Black people do not feel pain. A lot of patients go through this, especially people who have chronic illnesses like sickle cell, lupus, and things like that, where they're told that you're over-exaggerating your pain. They want to give you the bare minimum in pain medicine because little orphan Annie done got addicted to fucking Percocets. Now you want to minimize and tell me that I can't get morphine or Dilaudid. Who remembers in 2020 when I almost died from blood clots? Remember, I was going through it. Everybody, that was during the C-19 era, and I had this horrible cough, and this was around like the George Floyd. There was so much stuff going on. So I initially thought me coughing and all this stuff I was going through was from breathing in the tear gas, the pepper spray, all this shit that they were spraying around Minneapolis. And I was noticing, like, if I was walking with my friends, I couldn't keep it with them. Like, my breathing was getting more and more labored. It was getting hard. And so my friend's husband was like, you need to go to the doctor and get checked up because we was at the George Floyd Memorial, and it was like we're walking up the hill from the rec center over there on 38th, and it was like I could not keep it with them. And they weren't walking fast. I could not keep it with them. And it was just so hard. And so I was like, okay, I'm making an appointment Monday. So I end up going to my appointment, and the doctor does not check me out, does no blood work, doesn't do an MRI, CAT scan on my chest, nothing. And I had just switched insurance companies at the time. I was forced to get with Stupid Ass Health Partners, which is the most trash ass insurance company in Minnesota. So I was with them. And when I got with them, the first thing their doctor did was take me off of my blood thinners that I had been on for years. They took me off for no reason whatsoever. So once they take you off of medication, there's nothing you can do. It's not like you can go get your own refill. And so that was that was like February. And then February, March, then we go into March, April, all this stuff is happening in 2020. Things are getting shut down. The riots are going on, all this craziness. So long story short, I go see the doctor. The lady does not do anything, prescribes me an inhaler and says, you probably have asthma, just use this. I'm like, asthma? Like, where the fuck did I just get asthma from, you know? So I'm just like, okay, whatever. I use it, still not working. So now, mind you, it's been a week now since all this happened. The whole time I'm live streaming, I'm steadily coughing. And it sounds like a smoker's cough. Like, it sounds horrible. And so everybody's like, you got COVID. I'm like, bitch, not, the devil is a liar. You know what I mean? Like, it was, but my cough was, I remember that. My cough was so bad. And so this is like a week after I saw that trash ass doctor. And the whole time the news is saying, don't go to the ER. There's a bunch of, C-19 patients and you can catch it if you go to the ER. So I'm scared to go to the ER because they're claiming the ER is just full of patients and all these folks are dying. This is what we're hearing on the news. So I'm too scared to just go down there. Normally I would, but I was holding off. So by that weekend, I'm at my little nephew's game. I'm trying to watch his football game and I literally cannot stand. Like, I feel like I'm about to just fall over. And I told my brother, I was like, I do not feel good. And so he was like, well, just go sit in the car. So I'm sitting in the car, and I remember I was on Telegraph with my Telegraph friends, and everybody kept saying, you sound horrible, T. You sound like I could barely breathe. So I'm like, I told my brother, I was like, I'm about to go home. I'm about to go lay down. So I go home, I make me something to eat, and like at this point, it feels like there's like 50 people just punching my chest. Just like I feel like my chest is just getting punched. I can't breathe. Everything is hurting. But I'm still kind of scared to go to the ER. So then like 2 of my friends ended up calling me that night. And they're like, you sound horrible. And they're like, just promise me, just go to the emergency room in the morning. I'm like, I'm going to try and lay down and hopefully I'll feel better. And I'm going to just go to the ER in the morning. So I get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning because I couldn't even make it to my bedroom. I couldn't even sleep in my bed because I just felt like I could not breathe. So I just slept on the couch sitting up. So I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, it's even worse. Like my chest is hurting. I could barely breathe. So I called my son. I was like, I'm about to go to the ER. And at this point, he just gotten his license. I don't have time to be waiting for no new driver. I'm like, I got to make it straight to the ER. He still has sleep. I said, just meet me down at the hospital. So I jump in my truck and I just get to the ER. I get to the ER. ER is empty. Literally nobody there, right? And so I'm telling the doctor, like, I cannot breathe. And this has been going on now for like a week. So I will say they did a great job at the emergency room. They get me in right away. They give me a whole MRI, CAT scan, all that stuff. They come back in maybe 30 minutes later, they come back and they're like, both of my lungs were filled with clots. I had clots that had been developing ever since that punk-ass doctor with health partners took me off of my thinners. So I had all these blood clots. He told me that if I would have waited one more day, if I would have waited one day, if I did not come in that day, I would have been dead on my couch. My kids would have found me dead Monday morning if I did not come to the ER. That's how limited my breathing was, and that's how many clots I had in my lung. Now, mind you, I just seen this stupid bitch doctor, okay, at Health Partners the week before, who did not do any testing, who did not do anything. And the doctor in the ER said, had she did everything she needed to do, I wouldn't even got to the point where I need to get to the ER. So that just let me know, like, I don't play when it comes to advocating for myself. But like I said, that was a special circumstance because of COVID and all the misinformation about going to the emergency room. But I remember I was gone. Like, I had to be in the hospital on heparin and everything, because that's when I first opened up the discourse. I literally had opened up the Discord that week and ended up in the fucking hospital for like 2 weeks. And then I ended up coming back and stuff like that. So I would say by the grace of God. And then thank goodness I still had 2 bottles of my blood thinners left. So those 2 bottles were able to sustain me until it was time to renew my insurance in November and get the fuck up off of Health Partners and go back to Blue Cross Blue Shield. So yeah, I would never use Health Partners. They're trash. So yeah, I don't play that. It's just, they really do. Like, a lot of these doctors, I've been through that shit. That's why, like, that shit broke my heart, because people don't understand. Like I've always said, when you're having a baby, that is the closest thing to death when you are in labor. You either can make it out with a healthy mom and baby, or that baby could die, or the mom could die, or both. Like, labor is so serious. And for her to have been in the hospital in pain, this is not her first rodeo. Both of these women were mothers prior. They have several children. So they know what's going on with their body. And for her to have a baby in the truck 8 minutes later, what if when that baby came out, the umbilical cord was around that baby's neck? I had a friend who went into labor at the hospital, in the hospital bed, and her baby almost died because when the baby came out, the umbilical cord was around his neck. But thank God she was in the hospital and they were able to save the baby and herp and cut the umbilical cord. What if that was her situation in the car? Thank God it was not. But you never know with the delivery. Anything can happen. So I'm so glad that they are suing this hospital. Like, it just pisses me off to think that. Because it's like, would she have been treated the same way if she wasn't black? And then the first lady that was just so just nonchalant, didn't care about her screaming. She was just so checked out. What happened to checking people over? Some of these hospitals act like it's too much to run an MRI or a scan. I remember my oldest son was having some issues, and my oldest has asthma. And so he wasn't feeling good or whatever. And I told him, I said, I'm going to come with you to the hospital. I'll meet you up there, at the hospital. So when we got there, the ER doctor, they were putting, how they put the little heart monitors, they do all that stuff. Like, well, yeah, everything sounds good. He's healthy. He's in his 20s. It's probably no big deal. No, bitch. I pay too much for health insurance, straight out of pocket. Okay, what I pay for health insurance is as much as people's rent. You're going to run every test you're going to run every test on my child to figure out what's going on with his chest. I want an MRI. I want a CAT scan. So start up the IV. We're not leaving until he gets that. And so they sure did. But had I not been there to advocate, because sometimes a lot of young people, they don't know. When doctors and stuff tell you no or just go home, a lot of young people will just leave. Like, okay, well, I'm not going to argue. They said there was nothing wrong. No, you're paying for that insurance. Insurance is not free. And I don't care if you're on Medicaid or Medicare. You were approved for this shit. You can't be on there if you're not approved. So they need to run all the tests. So don't let anybody send you off. If you feel like there's something wrong with your body, do not allow, especially in the ER, do not allow somebody to send you off or run you away, because that could be your very last moment alive. Because you could go home and die on the couch or in the bed. So I made him do all those tests, and thank God everything came back, negative. There's nothing there, but you never know. There could have been something there. I'd rather know. I'd rather be safe than sorry. Either way, I'm the one paying for the shit. It ain't like it's coming out the doctor's pocket. So you got to be your own advocate. But it's just really, really sad that both of these women were treated that way. These are two women a week apart in two different states. So when black women say that they are mistreated in the hospital, in labor and delivery, they're not over exaggerating. They're not just looking to be, victims. And from what I've heard, the way black women are treated in hospitals and by hospital staff, unfortunately, is equivalent to how black men feel like they're treated by police. So the whole thing is just insane. And let's also go a little bit deeper. There's going to be more of this. Again, I went through my situation in 2020. So let's not act like this is something new. This has been going on, where our pain is dismissed. They don't want to run the test. They don't want to, it's just easy to just prescribe some pain meds or an inhaler, as opposed to actually doing your job that you went to school for. But let's also keep it real. There's going to be more of this, because now these hospitals are being severely underfunded because of the government and everything going on. You have a lot of rural hospitals that are being shut down and closed because of the Medicaid subsidies. A lot of these hospitals are able to keep on their lights because of the government subsidies. I've talked about this in previous live streams. So because a lot of these subsidies are no longer available, things are being cut, doctors are being let go, it's extremely short-staffed at these hospitals. You're going to see a lot more of this, unfortunately. And the people who are going to get treated like this the worst are going to be black people, one, and poor people. So it is. It's very scary. Very scary. Let me read some of these super chats here. Rose Marin. Hey, Rose. She says, my dad worked at the Dallas Regional Hospital back in the day. Very unsafe working conditions for the RNs. No pharmacy was open overnight, so RNs had to mix the meds. Wow. That's crazy. Mandarin sent $10. She says this happened to a coworker of mine. She was super dilated, but she, by the time they checked her in, her mother fought for her. They refused to leave, and she is suing. Good. I'm glad she's suing. Like, I just can't imagine being turned. I mean, I know it's been years since I've had a baby. I didn't know it's gotten this bad. Because I remember there was a YouTuber back in 2020 when I went through my situation. I believe she might have been Nigerian or African, her and her husband. She passed. She went to the hospital to have her baby, and she never made it out. I believe the baby lived, but she passed away. I forget her name. Forgive me. But I remember that was a big deal. It's like, and they said she had been sick, going back and forth, and they kept dismissing her, saying that she was okay. So, I mean, it's insane. Street Council sent 5, said the hospital that denied her care broke federal law by turning her away in active labor. It's an emergency, medical treatment, and active labor. Exactly. Just like, people will say stuff like with illegal immigrants, like, oh, all the illegals are using Medicaid and still in healthcare. That's not how it works in the hospital. The only time that an illegal will ever be treated for something is, like you said, in the case of a medical emergency. Somebody getting shot, it's life and death, or active labor. So for her to not be able to get the treatment that she needs, and I'm sure her and her husband has some type of insurance, is insane. So I think the lady in Dallas needs to also sue that hospital as well. And hopefully she's working on a lawsuit. Leo Candy sent 5, says, from Pittsburgh, the same thing happened to me. Raggedy nurse didn't believe I was in labor just for me to have my daughter an hour later. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm hearing that more and more, and I'm not understanding why people are not being checked. Like, that is scary. Because, and I hate to say it like I'm, back in my day. I mean, was it that long ago? Shit. Well, my oldest now is 20. He'll be 25 soon. The youngest is 20. But even when I had my youngest, it was like the care was exceptional. If anything, they tried to keep you there, make sure you were okay. They didn't want you having the baby at home. Because I remember I was ready to go. I was like, well, I'll be back. I got to go pack. Because after I left my doctor's appointment, then I was high risk. And so I left my doctor's appointment. They told me to go to the emergency room. And they're like, no, we're going to induce you tonight. You can't leave. And I was crying because I hadn't finished packing. I still had stuff to do at the house. They had a security guard outside my door. Like, she's not allowed to leave because she's going to put the baby in danger if she leaves. So, my brother and my ex-husband, they ended up getting everything together for me. But yeah, it was just so much care back then. I'm like, when I tell you, I'm just so shocked at the stories that I'm hearing. It's sad. But again, like I said, it's going to get worse because the funding is being cut in the healthcare system. And then, shout out to the good nurses. But I also have a feeling when I'm also on nurse TikTok that some of y'all don't even want to be nurses. Y'all are just in it for a hustle. Just to be on TikTok bragging about the money that you're making. And that's fine. You deserve all the money that you're making in the world. Don't get me wrong, because nursing is not easy. But are you also providing the proper care? Because there's too many stories coming out of nurses giving patients the wrong medication and patients dying. So it's getting crazy out here. Beautifully Made sent $4.99. She says, I spent 11 hours in the ER with the 8 out of 10 abdominal pain and was only given Tylenol. At the 14th hour, the scan showed a ruptured mass. I was bleeding out all day. Oh my God. That is crazy. I remember this happened to one of my friends. Her daughter, She went into the ER because she had been having really bad stomach pains. So her boyfriend drove her to the ER. And so they gave her a pregnancy test. She wasn't pregnant. And her stomach was hurting really bad. They said that they want to give her and the boyfriend an STD test. What the fuck? Why are you trying to test the boyfriend? Like, what does STDs have to do with any of this? They want to test her and the boyfriend for STDs. So at that point, the mom demanded that she get a scan. Do y'all know her appendix were about to burst? They had to give her an emergency appendicitis, whatever. She had appendicitis. They had to give her emergency appendix surgery. Had they sent her home and she left, her appendix would have burst and she could have died. But they were more interested in giving her an STD test as opposed to checking her out and doing a scan. So thank God they did the scan and they found out that it was her appendix. But that was only because they demanded that she be scanned. So yeah, I don't know what's going on right now with the medical establishment. There's a lot of good nurses, but unfortunately there's a lot of bad ones out here too. Miss A. Hunt sent $10. She says, I have so many of these stories, but one of them was my 2-year-old. I fought and argued that something was wrong with my son. And when they caught it, my baby was hours away from a heart attack. Oh my God. Hoo-wee. Well, thank God you were your son's advocate. Thank goodness. Wow. J Star 3189 sent $9.99, says the RN with the red hair is LaCrista Vaughn. Please enter a complaint against her at the Texas Board of Nursing. Her license number, they wrote the license number. Let's prevent her from endangering anyone else. Thank you so much for that information. So J Star wrote that information out if you guys want to copy and paste it. Let's see here. Wavy Tay, what's up, Wavy? He says, hey, auntie, it's your favorite soldier checking in. Our healthcare system is just embarrassing. Meanwhile, Israel gets free healthcare, insurance, and expanded borders while we continue to give them money while our people suffer. Child, they're not ready for that conversation. Now, I don't know if you clock this, T-Wavy. Good old Chuck Schumer, okay, who helped to lead the damn shutdown, the government shutdown, that affected hundreds of people, actually thousands of people at the airports, that affected the pay of thousands of air traffic controllers and TSA agents. Do y'all know right now he done put up, he's trying to run a bill in Senate to ban Nick Fuentes because Nick Fuentes won't take his feet off the Jews? And he claims the Jewish community is scared, and this is the most anti-Semitism that's ever been displayed in America, and they need to get rid of people like Nick Fuentes. I said, so you're willing to come up with a law in the Senate against a podcaster? Most people are not paying Nick Fuentes any mind, but you're willing to make a law for that. But yet and still, you weren't able to get people who need it. You weren't able to pass that whole Affordable Care Act situation. You shut down the government and have nothing to show for it. The Affordable Care Act is going to be going away, for the most part, in the new year, which is going to affect thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. But you're worried about pushing a bill to ban Nick Fuentes from keeping his foot on the Jewish community. Make it make sense. And like Wavy Tay said, they get free health care over there. Meanwhile, you just messed up the whole Affordable Care Act for the people here in this country who have to pay thousands of dollars, sometimes a month, for health care. And now that health care is going up. But you're worried about Nick Fuentes. Because he been saying foul shit. He been saying foul shit about black people, especially black people. But y'all didn't have no band ready for that. Because see, y'all didn't care when he said that he's tired of black people and black people's shenanigans. That was funny. But now that he's saying a lot of stuff that, you know what I'm saying, about the Jewish community, now it's an issue. Yeah, if y'all haven't caught that tea, it was all over Twitter. People was going in on him. Let me see if I can find it. He wants to ban Nick Fuentes. And Nick Fuentes, I'm not going to lie, he be going in, child, when it comes to that particular topic. Let me put it in. See if it comes up. Yeah, he was crying about Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson. He's mad about the interview. Here it is. It's on Twitter. I'm going to play it for y'all real quick before I leave. So for y'all who don't know, this is what's going on right now. So come January, people's insurance is about to triple. A lot of people are not going to be able to afford insurance. The Medicaid healthcare subsidies are literally, going out the window, which is going to affect the hospitals and all that stuff. But he's worried about Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes. Glad to know that our dollars are being put to use. This is the video here. People were dragging him.
Declined to condemn Nick Fuentes' hateful views and defended Tucker Carlson's decision to give Fuentes a platform. The president was asked about his thoughts on the interview. He declined to condemn Nick Fuentes. That is disgusting. For Donald Trump to excuse and protect the spread of Nick Fuentes' ideology confirms what many of us have long said. White supremacy and anti-Semitism are taking deep roots, unfortunately, within the Republican Party. Just as we saw from the leaked texts of young Republicans, just as we saw from text messages of administration officials, the Nick Fuentes saga on the right reveals that anti-Semitism and white supremacy have been growing with disturbing currency within the right wing and within the right wing of the Republican Party. But I know this is not true of everyone on the Republican side, especially not for many Republicans in this chamber. Therefore, I will soon lead a resolution here in the Senate rejecting Nick Fuentes and his white supremacist views, condemning Carlson's platforming of hate, and condemning anti-Semitism and white supremacy wherever and whenever it occurs. In the coming days, I will work to grow support for my resolution so the Senate can take a clear stand against hatred and anti-Semitism. I hope my Republican colleagues will join me in this effort and co-sponsor this resolution. Calling out anti-Semitism should not be a partisan issue. In fact, when we refuse to condemn anti-Semitism, when we stay silent and fail to reject anti-Semitic rhetoric, when we normalize hateful figures spewing disgusting anti-Semitism, that is when anti-Semitism spreads throughout society like a poisonous wildfire.
Okay, so, but yet, like I said, he had none of this smoke when Nick goes in on black people. It's all good. So yeah, our tax dollars at work. So anyways, I just wanted to, spill that little bit of tea if you guys missed that. That was the talk of Twitter earlier today. Let me read these last few super chats here. Carrie says, have you talked about Mama Gifted Hands? No. I heard they said she's in jail, as she should be. As she should be. It was some big fight. I saw it on TikTok. It was like a fight. Over $50. But see, that's the problem with some of these African braiding shops, is that they'll quote one price knowing that they want to charge more, and they feel like once they do the work, they can kind of up the price. So Mama Gifted Hands is where she needs to be, in jail. So yeah, I did see that trending on TikTok over the weekend. That's just disgusting to think that you can sit there and put hands on somebody and, assault them over $50. I forgot what city she's in. I want to say Texas, maybe. I might be wrong. But she's a braider. She's a braider. And she got into it she told the lady via text that the total was $200. And so when she got done doing the hair, she said that there was an upcharge because she used human hair. Okay, then you should have quoted for that upcharge when I asked you. You said it's $200, I'm bringing $200. So they tried to make the lady pay $50 and the lady refused. And then she started tussling with her and pulling her hair, and there was a whole bunch of mess. And the lady was able to record her. And so now her and I believe 3 of her other co-workers that were there in the salon, they were arrested for assault and kidnapping because they wouldn't let the client leave the store. So, okay, it was Alabama. Okay, I knew it was somewhere down south. Yeah. A lot of these braiders they're just out of control. Respect goes 2 ways. You know, I don't get into diaspora wars. If you watch my deep dive, you know, I talked about that. I don't involve myself in the diaspora war. So if that's what y'all are trying to do, move around with that. I call out bullshit on all sides. And that's, you know, and people get mad. That's why a lot of people are mad at me when I called out Wendy Osefo. I'm not excusing her. I don't give a damn that she's Nigerian. She's a scammer. Okay? So why would I not have the same smoke for her that I would do anybody else? Right is right, wrong is wrong. But the problem is with some of these braiders, they're not being honest about their prices. If you're quoting somebody the price, especially in these times, that is the money that people are going to bring. Don't tell me that you're going to do a service for $200 and then not because you felt like it took a little bit longer than you expected or you used a certain quality of hair that you can just up the charge $50. If she didn't have the $50, she didn't have it. So now you've ruined your reputation online. You've ruined your business. You and your cohorts are now in jail. All this behind $50. So I feel no ways about mama gifted hands. Too bad you weren't gifted a brain. Because common sense should tell you it ain't worth all this over $50. And I just can't stand when people quote a service and they quote a price and then you get there and they try to up the price. Like, don't do that. Especially if I'm working on a budget. If you're saying that this is what you can do it for. And, you know, and I've had that where people will find out, let's say, like, even sometimes when I'm doing my parties, you know, I usually have, like, my team or somebody call to set, well, I usually pay somebody to set it up. But every now and then they'll find out who the person, you know, who the event is for. Then all of a sudden you want to charge more. Like for my birthday party, I was going to have a smoke machine. So initially, you know, when it was just, you know, some random, you know, black chick, the smoke machine to rent for an hour, I think he said was like $300. Okay, that's cool. You know, that make it give a little misty, you know, jungly feel. Then once he found out it was for me, all of a sudden, objection. Oh, that ain't the right price. Wait, it was $300. We put it in the budget for $300. Oh, now he want $1,200. I said, objection right back. Fuck you and your smoke machine. Next. And we didn't have no smoke machine. You're not going to play me. What you quoted is what you quoted. You don't get to switch it up because now you know it's lovely tea. Absolutely not. I said, fuck him in that smoke machine. Next. So, nah, we're not doing that. You quote me $200 via text, that's what I'm bringing is $200. Okay? People need to stop that. I can't stand when people do that. We'll quote one thing, and when they find out who it's for, all of a sudden there's a celebrity price. I'm not no celebrity, okay? I'm a regular person, honey. Not gonna do that. Give me the regular human price. And I can see if he went up, like, let's say, even if he went up maybe $100, that's still messed up, but I can see that. But $1,200 from 3 to 12, oh. You tried it. He tried it. Nope, that's not in the budget. You're not going to mess up this oxtail because the extra money, the budget went towards that oxtail lasagna that all y'all love so much. So imagine if I would have took the oxtail lasagna money and used it towards a smoke machine. I think not. Okay, we're going to eat good around here. Now, I don't mind spending on on food. I will spend a coin on food. I don't mind that. But a smoke machine, we can't eat that shit. It's over in an hour. At least with the damn oxtail lasagna and all the good food we had, we were able to take stuff to the hotel room and have seconds and everything else. So no, the money went towards the food. Janisa said it was so good. It was, honey. It was. Yeah. No, I'm fine, Kim. I'm just tired. Shit. Yeah, I'm tired. It's getting late. That's all. I'm fine, though. And these lashes are getting in my eyes. But I'm ready to go to bed. How long I've been on here? I don't even know how long I've been on here. They moved it. Oh, I've been on here for 2 hours and 30. Yeah, it's time for me to go. I'm tired. Shit. All right, y'all. What did I have to say? Anything else? I think I hit on every topic. Let me make sure. I'm gonna read the rest of these super chats. I'm gonna leave because I am getting tired. But yeah, Mama Gifted Hands is right where she needs to be, behind bars. Y'all need to start calling her Mama Throwing Hands for no damn reason. Mama Dumbass for losing your business over $50. Mama should have sat there and ate her food. Y'all need to call her that. Let me see here. Red Aries 2198 cent 999 says Black folks always go to the doctor with your family. These medical people need to see you have advocates. I've seen lots of similar stories about dismissive doctors. Read Medical Apartheid, T. Yes, that is, I couldn't think of that book name. That is the book. Because when I had that whole situation with the clots, everybody was telling me to read that book. That is the book, Medical Apartheid. It's about how Black people are treated in the medical system and how our pain is ignored. And there are still, old folklores and all that nonsense that Black people do not feel pain, that our skin is supposedly thicker than other races. So we don't feel pain like other people. It's bullshit. It really is. And that's where that stupid trope comes from too. Strong Black woman. And I've always told you guys, I hate that stereotype. I hate that trope. I'm not no strong Black woman. I'm a woman like any other woman. I have my good days, my bad days. Sometimes I'm strong. Sometimes I'm weak. Sometimes I need to, I just want to lay down and fucking cry and don't want to get up. Fuck all that shit. Don't call me strong. Because Asian women, white women, Latinos, they all get to be sensitive and soft. I'm in my soft girl era. So now I don't like that. I'm not nobody's strong anything. I'm a human being like anybody else. Have my good days and my bad days. I remember bitches thought I was about to jump into a fight. You should have jumped, bitch. No, I'm in my soft girl era. I'm not out here fighting, especially for somebody I don't know. Y'all hoes is weird. You should have been out there fighting. No, the hell I shouldn't have been. Bitch, I ain't been fighting since like my 20s. The hell I look like out in the streets of New York fighting? Absolutely not. Shit. Yeah, people love to see Black girls, especially dark-skinned Black girls fighting and women. No, I'm not doing any of that shit. We call the police around here, okay? I don't fight nobody. Especially when you got shit to lose too. Nope. 911 on speed dial, bitch. I'm in my soft girl era. Told y'all. And when I go to the club and they, if I go to one of them clubs and it's a bunch of sneakers and shit, females wearing sneakers, I know to mind my business. These hoes are in here in sneakers for a reason. They love to fight. Everybody 35 and up is in high heels. You got to look out for them girls who be in the club wearing sneakers. So I just mind my business. I smile. You know what I'm saying? Drink my little water and dance. Be my little... I ain't trying to be out here fighting with none of these little young girls. We are too old to fight. Bad knees? Hell no. Shoulder issues. Fuck that shit. Police will be called expeditiously. Now, I can't control my Gen Z nieces. Now, they might jump in and fight and do all that stuff, but I'm not jumping into nothing. Now, my little nieces, they're kind of wild, okay? They will do some shit. They'll have my back, but I'm not jumping into nothing. I'm too old to be out here doing that. I'm in my soft girl era. You know, I like stepping out, coming back. I saw this viral video of like this boyfriend and girlfriend. The girlfriends were fighting. It was white people too. That's what was so funny about it. I said, all this white on white crime. The girlfriends, they got into some type of argument. They got to fighting. Well, the one girlfriend, she really couldn't fight. She was getting her ass whooped. So the boyfriend jumped in and got the swinging and fighting the girl who was beating up his girlfriend. Then her boyfriend jumped in. And so they were all just fighting. But the girlfriend who couldn't fight, she got, you know what I mean, she got her ass whooped. So the boyfriend was trying to like, you know, help her back up while beating up the boyfriend. It was so funny. I said, child. And these people, they all had to be in their late 30s, early 40s. I said, y'all are too old to be out here brawling. Too old. Oh, Moneybag Mo's in the building. Oh my gosh, she popped up right on time. I appreciate you, sis. You're going to have to catch the playback. Thank you so much for coming through. I'm getting ready to leave. Thank you for the $449.99. I appreciate you, sis. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let me see here. Let me read these last two super chats here. Kazuo, hopefully I said that right, said the dentist prices are also ridiculous. My friend flies from NYC to Puerto Rico to get his teeth checked once a year. Stay safe. Wow. I never thought about that. And then get a nice little vacation. Eat some mofongo. Oh, that mofongo is so good. I can't wait to get back to Puerto Rico. I loved it. I had such a good time. Such a great culture. Yeah, the dentists, they don't cover shit. That dental insurance is bullshit. They charge like $85 a month. They don't cover anything. And then even like with the cleaning, you still got to pay $50 for the fluoride. I said, well, what the hell's the point? Y'all told me to come in here every 6 months for a cleaning, and then I still got to come out of pocket for the fluoride treatment? I pay for it, but still. Shit. Dental insurance don't cover anything. That's another wasteful insurance. You're better off just paying the dentist what you can pay, because the insurance don't cover nothing. Let's see here. Miss Sparkle says, T, did you hear about the alleged assassination attempt of Candace Owens? I've been hearing murmurs about it. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm thinking about doing a video on it, but I don't know. I feel like, part of me feels like Candace definitely wants attention. Outside of her core group, she's out with the MAGA crowd, the Turning Point USA crowd. And I feel like she's just trying to, I don't know. I'm just getting weird vibes. I feel like she has nothing else going on, so she has to just keep toting conspiracy theories and keep people latched. Every video at this point is about Charlie Kirk that she does on her channel. Everything is about Charlie Kirk and who supposedly killed him and who's involved, and you know, and now she's getting threats from France because she's being sued because she said the French president, his wife was a man. So they're suing her. I mean, she could be under threats, you know, I don't know. But I just hope that Candace realizes that she should have never did what she did to the black community. A lot of people in the community, they don't feel bad for her and they don't care, because she built her whole platform on degrading and going in on black people for the Daily Wire. And now those same people are on her ass. And so she wants, you know, black folks to rally around her and protect her. And I don't have nothing for her. She needs to go ask the Catholic community. Ain't her husband Catholic? Ask for Catholic prayers. Because black folks don't have nothing to do with it. So, I don't know if I even believe it. You know, I don't wish anything bad on her, of course. You know, I don't want that to be true. But I don't know if I believe it. I just believe that she's so far into these conspiracies, she just needs to keep people hooked. It's like it's just one thing after another, whatever she can to keep people hooked and coming back to her channel. Because really, YouTube is literally her only source of income at this point. Is YouTube and people donating her money. She has nothing else going on. So everything for her is a grift. So I don't know. I'm not really buying it. You know, good luck to her. I don't have nothing for her. You know, good luck. I hope the same white folks that she was catering to, you know, have her back. I have nothing for her. Tim Pool, he got his wake-up call with his beanie-wearing ass. Whoever's running Turning Point USA, honey, they say he big mad. They done kicked him off the tour. They said Tim Pool is not allowed. He's been fence-sitting. You know, Tim Pool, he's been saying little slick stuff about Israel, and I guess the people who are running Turning Point USA, they're upset. They don't want, they high-key, they don't want Tucker going to the event. But they know if they get rid of Tucker, they're going to lose ticket sales, because most people bought tickets to go see Tucker Carlson. So Tim Pool, he's a big, you know, he's big in the MAGA world and all that stuff, but he's not as big as a Tucker Carlson. So he said one of the last messages he got from Charlie Kirk is Charlie Kirk basically okaying him to be at Turning Point USA. And he was promoting it to his audience to buy tickets. And now whoever's running it, they done dropped him. So he's another one getting his little wake-up call. Because Tim Pool forgets he's half Asian. For y'all who don't know, he's not just a white boy. His mom is Asian. But he looks white. He looks phenotypically white. But he's half Asian. I forget what, I think she might be Vietnamese or something. I don't know. But he is half Asian. So I guess he's getting his, you know, Asian wake-up call. I don't believe that Erica Kirk is pregnant. I think that's a rumor. I don't believe it. If she is pregnant, because people are saying that she's 10 weeks pregnant, I don't think Charlie Kirk been dead that long. So then people are trying to say that it's J.D. Vance's baby. I don't believe it. I just think it's just a rumor. I don't believe everything I see on Twitter. So until she comes out with a pissy pregnancy test, I'm not buying it. So I don't know. Nor do I care, to be honest with you. I mean, that's her uterus, not mine. Because one thing I know, when she goes to the hospital, she'll get excellent care. Okay? I'm more concerned with these black women who are getting turned away. So, I don't care. They're saying it's J.D. Vance's baby. But again, you know, like I said, social media is messy. So, I'm not buying that one. I would think she would be able to, you know, if you're going to fuck with the vice president, that's one thing. I would hope that she's smart enough to use birth control. We don't need another scandal in the White House. with my side eye. I'm just side eye that situation. I don't know, child. I don't know. Not my concern. I'm concerned with these black women who are pregnant and being turned away from the ER. So, like I said, even if she is knocked up, she'll be fine. She'll get the best medical treatment. But on that note, y'all, I'm tired. So I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. If you have not watched the deep dive, please watch it. I put a lot of work into it. Part 2 will be coming up. I'm taking a break this week. I just want to shoot content. So I probably won't start working on part 2 until like the end of the week. But I do have it written out, but there's other things I want to add to it as well. So, but just once again, thank you guys for the wonderful feedback on the deep dive. I'm really glad you guys are enjoying it. Anonymous Queen 717 sent $2.79. She says, T, you are amazing. You have helped me. Thank you. I love you. Oh, that's so sweet. I love you too. Thank you. I appreciate you. So everybody have a good evening. Have a good night. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you everybody for the super chats, for the love, for the support. It's very much appreciated.